Blast ahoy and g'day once again to ye mateys! I be Josh the Pirate, your driving and authoritative host, and it brings me more thrill than finally finding enough Beskar to build a full cuirass to welcome you back to Corsair's Cove and my ongoing investigation of other gaming systems for some more teens in space! Around me, I have my hearty crew, the energetic Kate O'Sullivan, the dynamic Sir Terrace, the potent Malika Moon, and the vigorous Ardana. So let's talk about these lovely people, shall we? I don't know if any of those are accurate today.
The vigorous Ardana was my personal favorite there.
They're all, what was the word I used? Yeah, they're all synonyms for forceful, that was it. Forceful. Yeah. So, Ardana, who the heck are you?
Currently got the giggles. Hi, I'm Ardana or Joe or... The what now? Never mind. Hi, I'm Ardana or Joe or... Oh, you there, depending on the situation. I'm the GM and channel runner over at the Lore Right. And sorry, yes, I am broken. I got the giggles. I don't know why.
It's because you got called vigorous.
Now we know. I just have to call you vigorous, and it breaks you completely. I just love it because the idea is just so silly. All right, Terrace, who the heck are you?
Hello, I am Sir Terrace, your friendly neighborhood ferret. You can find me wherever D&D and other TTRPGs are played. Currently, right here, right now. I am playing Skylar today, who is a little birdie folk, and yeah.
Excellent. Kate, who the heck are you?
Hello, I am Kate, or O'Sullivan Kate, or that idiot that pops up on vastly too many things but doesn't stream herself. You can usually find me playing TTRPGs on the internet, or in the analog space doing other idiot things and pretending to be other random people. Tonight I am playing Mandi, or short for Ozymandias, the most adorable little ooze that ever just wanted to be a shape. That's it.
No.
And if you want to see more of Kate's delicious face, then you can see her in the Melbourne Fringe.
Oh God!
In October.
You can. I will post a link later.
Yeah.
In the chat if I can find it quickly.
You are Melbourne-based persuasion. Yes. And Malika, who the heck are you?
Oh, I am Malika. I'm a singer, I'm a burlesque performer, actress, all kinds of fun things when I can summon the enthusiasm to leave my house, which in this season is rare, very rare. It's very cold. I have been enjoying, it is though, it's too cold. I've been enjoying the process of getting to learn how to play all these different games. Basically been learning in real time on this channel, thanks to Josh and Karen's generosity. And I play a little salamander man with a kinetic suit that looks like a 90s b-boy that has to keep moving at all times. So he don't stop, never stop. That's our ZuRon.
Love it.
We love him.
Salamander is my favorite pun that didn't happen just in that.
Salamander. Yeah.
I just realized that I hadn't introduced who I'm playing.
Yeah,
I am
do.
playing the very tiny hug monster with spines.
Multiple
Spot.
spines. Ah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spot, the ship medic hedgehog / Pomeranian puppy / I don't know.
Tires. Yeah.
Pinball ball at some point.
Pinball wizard, yeah. Just
Yeah.
Yes.
Pringles Pringles can driving. Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent.
God, we
and
had fun
Madame
last
and Monsieur, you did. Let's see how far this one can go. Madame and Monsieur, Dame und Herren, beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, I be Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on my channel, Corsair's Cove, where I run D&D and other RPG games like this, with me lovely friends and my wonderful wife, Karen, the mother of bunnies. Guys, very recently we hit 700 followers. Which means everybody gets inspiration, which is, I'm going to call a reroll.
Cool.
Just like in D&D. So you can reroll one thing. You all got a little inspiration token up above your faces on the stream.
Beep, beep,
Um,
beep, 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 beep.
Just need to say hi to all of our wonderful people in chat. Hey Lilith, hey Crispin Crunch,
people.
how are you folks? Yes, thank you so much for joining us. I should probably press enter. There you go. Now you can find all my things.
All the things.
All the things, all the time. So, what else do we need to talk about? I must also remind our determined, insistent, and possibly even strong-willed audience to please like, follow, and subscribe to all the things, you bloody champions. We have all the exclamation mark socials. It's actually, the list has gotten longer, but I haven't updated that yet, because we now have threads. That abomination. And we've got a
It's
Kick
not
channel
available in
too.
the
I
EU.
haven't started it yet. But we're talking about it. Would anybody be interested in coming over and watching me on Kick? Karen and I are going to start a new D&D game, a new one-on-one, like mano a mano game, with the intention to have ongoing guest spots in it. But it's something
It's not
that's relatively
available in the
easy to
EU
do.
yet.
Kick
What,
or
threads or
threads
kick?
or both.
Threads.
Oh, thanks, Crispin.
Yay.
Crispin, you
You
bloody
doing the nice
champion.
things.
Excellent individual. Oh, thank you. We also have a YouTube, which is dangerously close to 100 subscribers, which, cool, I guess. And we have a Discord.
Hey.
Recently, if you want to check out the thing that's really cool on Discord, on the YouTube at the moment, is the episode of Humblewood from Jasper's Game Week. That has finally gone up there, which is very cool. And I was watching it last night, and I was like, I got a little bit of spine tingles. I'll be honest, when Titan just randomly showed up because of somebody drew a deck of many harrowing deck thing, and the literal spirit of death appears behind somebody and challenges them to a duel, and I'm like, this is going to really derail my entire campaign, so let's work this in somehow. Probably wisely has concerns about Thread's data retention and privacy. There you go, that's why. Yeah, I mean, but Zuckerberg is so good at things like that. Zuck's gonna Zuck, in other words, exactly, yeah.
There's the whole thing where at the moment they say they're going to change it, but question mark around that. That if you create a Threads account, you cannot delete it completely. Like, you can probably private it or temporarily deactivate it, but you can't delete it completely without deleting the Instagram account that it's linked to.
Yeah, right. That makes sense.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, GDPR is something Zuck does not like.
So,
Anyway,
The
let's have
internet
fun
never
with the
forgets.
internet instead of worrying about
yeah,
horrible data retention things. It's not like we're putting our faces on the internet or anything. That
No.
doesn't seem like a sensible
And
thing that anybody would do.
a platform that
I'm the most sensible one here.
yeah, a platform owned by someone even smarter than Zuck.
So
yeah,
smart.
I genuinely think that Mr. Bezos should take the lead in this underwater exploration thing. I think it needs someone of true vision to build a better submarine and go down there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Him and Elon Musk
Yeah, they should go together.
could build a thing together.
But
Well,
guys,
if-
you know that the Wills are just going to leave it to more idiot people, right? That's we at least we know the idiots we've got now.
You are going to better the
We know
idiot
who they are.
you know.
No.
There's so
The
much
idiot you don't.
untapped potential of areas for billionaires to explore. I mean,
Yeah.
who's tried to dive into a volcano lately in a
Only the
homemade ship?
bravest and men with the largest penises would do that.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And
Yes,
biggest hands.
correct.
And
My
massive
science brain
hands.
is screaming at all of you. It's fine. My brain's it's fine. It's good. It's great.
That's
Adana.
Mariana Trench. Yes.
Before I forget,
Oh.
Skylar would like to ask you a question.
Ooh.
What is
Okay.
the difference between Spot and an interstellar traffic control vessel?
If I say I don't know, it's gonna turn weird, but okay.
With an interstellar traffic control vessel, all the pricks are on the inside. I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
No.
You are not sorry.
Yeah.
He
No,
was
no,
sorry.
brilliant.
That was done with forethought. All right. So, guys, what the absolute heck happened last time? It's been a while, I know.
It's been a minute. I made shapes.
You did make shapes.
we
ZuRon
met
got to build an
Euripides.
arc reactor.
Yeah, ZuRon did that.
Listen, that's his only priority. He scanned the chair and he built like an arc reactor thingy. He's like, yeah, that was a great time.
Yeah, Skylar tried to ride a giant living chair. That was the first session. Second session, you guys got abducted by aliens.
Yeah.
All but one of you.
And then we abducted the aliens.
And then you very much abducted the aliens, yes. A species named the Haralka. And a giant
Haralka.
ship. And ZuRon and Skylar got abducted and went to the other ship, and then they figured out how to get back. And learned that you can't necessarily fly in zero gravity. That worked quite well, though. Everybody was fine. And then Mandi turned herself into a giant plug and smushed the Haralka back into the engine bay. Apparently, it went extremely well. You found a sentient species to take back and say, "Hey, look, we found new things." And
We also
Yes.
found a magazine creature that we took with us.
you did as well,
Yes.
yes.
We did do that.
I believe we called it a helodactyl.
Yes.
Is it a dotty
Yes.
dactyl or a hello dactyl? I can't remember.
I think it was
something along
Dolly magazine.
Yeah.
Dolly magazine, that's it, a dolly dactyl.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was a
dolly
subspecies
dactyl.
of the magpie.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Magpies.
Uh,
All right.
Oh,
So
yeah. And Spot discovered exactly why you sit in the Pringles lookalike tubes when riding the pneumatic system.
Yep.
Because all of her quills went very, very dull.
Yeah. Friction's a bitch.
we've just been
Yep,
followed.
Can really rub you the wrong way.
Temmie19, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. So, we're going to do a bit of world-building foist, because I want to know a little bit more about this universe, what you guys are inhabiting, and I don't want to have to do all the work myself. So, guys, I would like to know a little bit about... Firstly, you're at an academy, training you for, presumably, becoming a spaceship crew. And you've demonstrated that you can work together quite well. So what is the name of the academy is called the Avarunnden Yilopisto. But what is it preparing you for? What is the name of the organization it is preparing you for? Like, if we were to use Star Trek, it would be the Federation of Planets and the, what are they called? Starfleet. What organization are you planning to all work for when you graduate?
Wayland Yutani. That was a joke.
Turns out evil. We're the baddies.
Part of me just wants to call it like the Fed or like something the Bureau, just because then it's functionally
Ooh.
could be the Bureau of Meteorology because that's what they want to be called. But like,
The organization.
Yeah.
yeah, the org or
.org,
as it'll end up being short to. Yeah, something like the Bureau or
Space Force.
dots. Space Force Karen. Yay. I'm something like that, but I'm okay with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm drawing a blank here, but it's probably like it should be a ridiculously long name that is then shortened to like the org.
Yeah,
Could it even be the org as an acronym?
yeah. I was gonna say it's like, or if not an acronym, then like the. It's
Technical hyperspace.
Exploration over
Hang on, I should be writing.
ridiculous.
No, technical hyperspace exploration over.
And organizational, like it, we can have ands and ths and stuff that don't get chucked into an actual acronym, right?
Yeah.
So like,
What was it? Technical.
Organization.
Oh.
The Technical
that's too many.
Hyperspatial Exploration Organization. Yeah, which is just literally just the org.
The org.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's called the org.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are studying to enter the Technical Hyperspatial
Hyperspace
Exploration Organization. The org. And so, is that the primary goal of this sort of organization, this collection of planets? Peeks in and does a lurking wave. Spectiki 3, you're very welcome.
Septicity. Hello.
Septicity.
Hi, Septic. There it is.
Ah.
Hi, Septic.
Yeah, I can't read. Hey,
okay,
Septic,
I
nice to see you. And Caleb Miller, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag.
I kind of like the idea of the org. Oh no, wait, no, I was gonna get political. But I kind of like the idea of the org being like very big and very expansive, very present, but at the same time having very little actual political power.
Yeah.
Like they don't do much, but they are certainly very visible and have very spiffy uniforms.
Okay, so not particularly. They don't exert political authority. It's an exploration. I'm imagining it as most of these planets are independent. They view themselves as fully independent, but everybody sort of contributes to the org for sort of collective knowledge as a scientific foundation sort of thing. It's not a military thing.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It is a research for research's sake, and they keep asking other planets for financial.
I have an idea, and it comes from the book itself, because at one point, one of the more prevalent races, the Prolians, destroyed the Quilarian home planet.
Yeah.
So it could be a preventative measure so that doesn't happen again.
Oh yeah. So a peacekeeping organization to a degree.
Yeah.
They were created to keep the peace by having a focus on research and things like that, so that everyone contributes to one big.
Yeah, rather than a military
united
force.
Planetary organization.
Yeah.
Not nation based. Put it that way.
As such, I think that any steps forward with technology or any kind of knowledge gathered or anything is completely open and free to members.
I think also
Yeah.
it makes sense actually having an exploration organization to prevent wars, because the main primary reason for war is the need for Lebensraum. You need more stuff. You need more resources and stuff. Spaces being basically infinite. All you need is more places to live. Well, then go. We'll find some for you. You don't need to steal somebody else's. Here's one we prepared earlier. It actually kind of tracks, and technology can make things better for peeps too. So yeah,
sorry, my face just went into it sounds like colonization to me, which I don't love.
Well,
that's okay.
Colonization, but not like taking somebody else's land. It's more like, hey, there's too many of us living on this planet. Let's
Potential
put some of them
terraforming.
on a new one.
Yeah, potential terraforming. I prefer. That's a better way to.
Yeah,
building better worlds
for her. Colonization light.
Yeah.
Skin-free colonization.
Guilt-free.
We found this beautiful
all of the
asteroid.
colonization, none of the guilt.
Yeah, it's like we found this beautiful asteroid. It's a little bit uninhabitable right now, but give us about 2 years.
Yeah, but that's the science thing. Yeah, cool, awesome. Alrighty, so now we know who you work for. I would like to ask about your peoples. Each one of you is a different species. So tell me a little bit about them. Spot, we know quite a bit about the Quilarians. We know what they're like. We know that they live on Herbatia. We've stuck with a lot of that lore that's from the original book, which I quite like. But tell me some more about them.
So Quilarians tend to be pacifist to a fault.
Mm-hmm.
they do not appreciate violence or fighting at all, as a rule. Of course, individuals being individuals, but as a rule, they do not like violence, they do not like warfare, and which is one of the reasons why their home planet was destroyed, because they are really, really, really good at building biomechanical stuff.
And they found a kindred
Again,
species
as a
in the
rule-
Herbaceans.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So they came to Herbatia. I think I don't really remember what it was called. Yeah,
On
but
the run from the Prolarians.
Yeah, they ran from the Prolarians and ended up on Herbexon, which is basically
That's
a giant
Herbexon.
moving forest.
Yeah. That's
And
sentient.
being, sentient forest, and being a pacifist, the people of Herbexon were like, sure, you can live here.
Yeah.
We don't mind.
Then the Prolarians showed up and didn't go so well for the
Herbexians-
Prolarians.
No. When
An entire
tree starts clobbering you,
when
you're
a
in
sentient forest goes, nope.
yeah. And so they are also, as a rule, very connected to the magic force of this universe called
The
the Bind,
Bind.
or the Kularians call it One Heart.
Oh yeah.
So, and I mean, there are not very many Quillarians right now. There was just a small force that were that took off
the last
from,
survivors,
their home.
ironically, a
Yeah.
colony.
Mhm.
But with full consent of the people that they were like, hey, can we live here? And they're like, yeah, come on, buddy. So
Yes.
what are we thinking? In these sort of tens of thousands, and that's it, or even less?
I think it's like they sent away enough people to rebuild without risking too much of the inbreeding problems. So I'd say at this time, maybe they are, say, 20,000 living individuals.
Sure. Yeah, so enough to preserve their culture and their genetics without any worry of inbreeding. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
How long do they live?
About 200 years.
Okay.
So they're a very long-lived species for being so tiny.
Hmm.
Like they are this size normally. So
Cool.
and
And do they have any specific traditions regarding mating, pairing, reproduction, that sort of thing? And gender dynamics generally as well, actually. Like, we know Spot is female, but that's generally speaking the way we've sort of inferred her so far. Do you want to give any more detail on that?
Well, according to the rules here, most, like, culturally, Quillarians are gender fluid.
Yeah, right.
So fixed binaries is seen as weird. If you feel like female one day, that's fine. You're male the other day, meh, okay.
Sure.
So identifying as one or the other for their entire life is like, why? You can be all of it.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Alrighty. Well, let's talk about Skylar then, our resident Chimhaven.
Excellent.
Tell us about Chimhaven, people.
So, as far as the book is concerned, let me get back to that page. I believe they were originally enslaved. My point is,
at this point, yes. You are welcome to do any world building you like. So if you want to go off book, you're exceptionally welcome to. I'll treat the book as canon, but
yeah, I think that is canon for his people, that they were originally enslaved and as such have lost the power of flight through some genetic tinkering. I believe that they used to be rather insular before that, and now are sort of sending their young people to branch out to try and find a cure for this flightlessness. And that's where that's why Skylar's sort of in this academy and going around, not necessarily to do that, but because they're encouraging their young to branch out. They have that little chip on their shoulder sort of about trying to be just as good as everyone else because they feel they're looked down on. I don't think Skylar has that so much. He's sort of more feels like he's not quite there. But beside the point, yeah, they can be a little bit like that. A little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Sorry. Proud. They're a little bit proud about things. But yeah, for the most part, they're just trying to rebuild at the moment, I think, and get back to where they were before the incident occurred.
Well, Froggy, that's exactly my thinking. I pride myself in being quite good at rolling with the chaos. And I'm open to it. So how long does a Chamaven live for?
I think they live about 100 years. Similar, just a little longer than your average human might live. Kind of about as old as a parrot might live.
Okay.
So,
sure.
Yeah, because they are sort of bird-like creatures.
Yep.
And I've sort of based them on parrots. So
are they reasonably common, a common sight, or becoming more common sight in the wider galaxy?
I think they are now that they're not sort of in a word,
slaves.
property.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're moving about. I think that their elders have sort of given them the push to not be so insular and to move out and try and experience as much as possible as a species to try and find a way to reverse this genetic
problem,
handicap that's been put on them.
So both Quillarians and Chamaven are official members of the org.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Do they have any specific traditions regarding mating? Hey, Emily.
I think traditionally in warmer, when weather starts to get warmer, there are various elaborate mating displays that the young partake in to try and find a mate. Now, whether they, I think that much like some pigeons and penguins, that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to take mates of opposite sexes or genders. They just, oh yes, you're pretty, and I believe they may mate for life.
Cool.
Like a pigeon.
I was thinking a penguin, but yes, yeah, absolutely. Cool.
They're like penguins and pigeons and some swans, they mate for life.
Love it. Awesome. Kate, tell me about Mandi's people. Tell me about the now, what was it? Informians? That's the one.
Yes. So for those who've not teens in spaced before, Informians are gelatinous little oozecapades people who originate from Flubla Prime, which is possibly my favorite planet name ever. They're just like spread around the cosmos. I quite like the lore that kind of forms around them about they peacefully share planets with other species, because basically they are human vacuum cleaners or ooze vacuum cleaners. They consume organic matter and then make fuel. So they're great. They just
everybody
around.
likes them. Yeah,
I'd say they twiddle around, but it feels a little inappropriate to put it that way.
I have a sort of an idea that they maybe just show up, and people don't even realize necessarily, like more primitive species might not even realize that they're alive. Like they're just puddles.
I feel like they just sort of show up and they're like, and then everyone's just like, oh, we assume you've always been here because you're an ooze, and so you could have come from anywhere. And
yeah, right.
They're just like, yes, just like if you were looking for the nanotech grey goo of the universe, they're probably them, but they're like they're just genuinely really nice to everybody, and just a little bit on the people pleasing side of things. So they're kind of welcome wherever they go, regardless, because they're just they're not there to they don't have hands to fight anybody. They just kind of do their thing. But like I think there's probably a little bit of friction with some groups about whether that niceness is a ruse or not.
Yeah.
Whether it's like
I
you
think
can't
there
really
would also
be that nice.
I think there would also be an element of there's suspicion from they just show up on your planet, like it's this slow invasion.
What?
Us? Never. Hey, Dag. I think that's a common vibe, buddy. Hope you're
Very
getting
much
better.
glad.
We're second.
Very much
We're over halfway now. School holidays kicking
We
everybody's
can do it,
butt.
Dag. You and me. We got this. It's fine.
I have 4 kids.
I work at a place that lots of people decide is a good place to go on school holidays. It's time.
I do incursions in the school holidays. I go to out of school care places, and
they come to us. So yes, but that idea of like, it would be a great conspiracy, except for the fact that we're very obviously like everywhere, and so it's kind of hard to make it. It just happens to be that people think it's a conspiracy, where really it's just like we're just kind of there. Like, it's like that person that who's friends with everybody. Not talk about myself. What do you mean? People are like, wait, how do you know that person? Like, I just do lots of stuff. I just know people. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I just got 2 really funny ideas. One is this: if a informant ever goes power mad and starts trying to eat an entire planet, and the rest are just getting this huge vacuum and just go to capture them. And the other one is
hard to restrain.
If Kate and Dag ever teamed up for anything.
Kate and Dag have played in a game together. Danger, danger. The best kind of danger.
Boop, boop.
I meant like your spider in the web kind of tendrils everywhere.
Oh, we know. We want you to have coffee at some point. It's fine.
I feel like I need to prevent this somehow. I don't know how.
Josh, you are part of the reason that Dag and I are going to be in the same place at the same time in the not too distant future. Yeah, look, so that's not my fault.
That might have been on
You've
me.
ended the world, Josh.
It's a canon event. You can't prevent it.
Matt Brown has also done a similar thing in the last week as well.
There's a bunch of people who are just like forcing Dag and I to exist in the same space. It's not our fault.
We're in danger.
And then in terms of like reproduction of Informians, I kind of like the idea of it's not asexual reproduction, but it kind of is, in that it's like each adult Informian, in that once they reach a certain age, they can do this, where there's like 2 blobs, one from each parent, that just blob together and form a new.
And a third happens.
Yeah, it's less like sexual and more like, shall we blob together, and then if we blob together we make a little blob?
I think would you be open to the idea that it's
osmosis? I was trying really hard not to say it. I was waiting for someone else to.
Don't you mean osmosis?
Yeah.
So exactly. I was trying to be really good. Less sex, more mutual donation. Exactly. It's more just like, which is why there are ooze families, because we've established that she has like
more
parents.
oosmus, osmosis, oosmus.
You're never alone with a clone. Exactly.
It's like
because we've established previously that she has like parents, so I think that's the only logical way for her to have.
Yeah, absolutely. But gender isn't really a thing. Gender is something that they take on. Because you're an ooze.
They make it easier for everyone else by being like, all right, I'm just going to give myself pronouns because it's going to make it easier for everybody else.
But technically the most accurate would be they, them.
The most accurate would be
it.
Just exist. It. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I don't, I think they will happily take on whatever pronouns people choose to use for them, rather than like necessarily having a preference.
Yeah.
Or pronouns specifically. So I'm like, it's not they them because it's whatever. Like pronoun me. Yeah. Ooh or Yes, exactly.
The
I'm not
collective
gonna
noun for a group of oozes.
Froggy,
An
I am not gonna
oom.
try and make the players deal with as the neo-pronouns for this character. But yes.
The moose.
Yes. I mean, for those who missed it, Mandi is short for Ozymandias, and her father's name is Ousmodius. So we are going through as many puns as possible. Please continue. It's fine.
What is her mother's name?
I will get back to you. I need to be a good fit with this
Yeah,
running thing.
that theme.
So
Yeah.
let me
Excellent.
Let me use
Mute.
on
Yeah.
that.
Let us talk about ZuRon then. ZuRon. What manner of being is ZuRon?
ZuRon is I've forgotten how I decided to say it before. He is a Luricaturian.
That's the one.
So the Luricaturians are a salamander. I just decided salamander people because salamanders are great.
Yes, they are.
They're humanoid-esque small salamander people that are very gifted at engineering and technologically oriented creation. It's inbuilt into their culture to the point that they did not have a word for artist or music until they interacted with other species, and they only think of creation in terms of creating objects of use and engineering. And even though the objects that they create tend to be quite aesthetically pleasing, like I said, it's their culture, like historically, doesn't really have a concept for like things like art and music, and the arts in general. Really, they don't really conceive of it.
They're very, very literal people.
Yes. Very literal and very like ZuRon's considered to be a bit flighty for his species, and considered to be like a little bit of his head in the clouds. And if anyone's seen what he's like, that's some very weird depictions that pretty much tells you what the rest of them are like. The Loricatorians are actually one of the newer species to join the org fully, because they held off because they weren't really keen on sharing all of their tech with the other species. And even though other species kind of interpret that as them thinking that they're better, I'm going to take from the book and say that the Loricatorians do have a slight inferiority complex because of their size. They're not a very large species. The average Loricatorian male is about 3 feet tall. ZuRon's like ahead of the curve at about 3.5 feet tall, and the average Loricatorian female is about 4.5 to 5 foot tall, depending on size. So they're little people, and it was the interaction with other species that sort of inspired them to start creating the suits in order to make themselves appear larger and more intimidating. And there is sort of a tradition that the suit trends sort of change based on the largest species that has last been encountered. Yeah. But so again, part of the reason why ZuRon's considered a bit of an oddball is that like his suit is very much based on like the encounters with like past human culture and human technology, and that is, dare I say, retro at this stage, or possibly even vintage within his culture. Yeah, that you'd only see perhaps like the most ancient of the matriarchs wearing anything like resembling humanoid culture on their suits, human culture on their suits at this stage. So ZuRon fully committing to a very specific aesthetic is unusual, to say the least, because usually they're a bit more of a grab bag on what the latest trend has swept through.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, cool. So they are like similar to Skylar. They're starting to become a little bit more common, a bit more of a common sight.
They're yes, but still very rare. Like ZuRon technically is only part of like the second generation of young adult trainees that have joined the org, and the first generation was only 5. And ZuRon's class, there are about 20 of them scattered about. The others tend to like stick together a bit more as a unit. ZuRon, again, is a bit unusual in that he kind of has his crew that he hangs out with more so than his own people.
And I think for that, he's actually like the teachers, the people in charge, actually like appreciate that. That he's doing better than some of the others because of that. It's quite an interesting idea. That's very cool. How are they sort of relatively normally, but you know, how are they gendered wise? How are they sort of social traditionally regarding procreation, mating, that sort of thing?
I kind of had the idea in my head of that, like, as their society developed more towards, you know, engineering and efficiency, reproduction is more just sort of like a phase, almost like how countries have like military service. It's like when you reach a stage of young adulthood, then it's you like reproduce. Okay, you do your 2 years or whatever, where you go in and like you reproduce, you donate your genetic material in order to produce the next generation, basically. And a lot of it is lab based, but
so they're very cold about it. Then it's not an emotional process. It's not something that they do because they want to. It's something they do just because that's how we do it.
Well, that's the thing. Occasionally, and this process is like completely like double blind ballot secret, that to the point that there's like whispers, rumors that if you go to a certain center to log in for your donation, you can make a request about your partner or your partners that you will be assigned to. But it's like a whispered, it's like a low key, every generation like sort of like talks about it and knows about it, but no one ever speaks about it openly. So officially, everyone's meant to be quite clinical and cut and dry about it, because this is like the ultimate collectivist culture, in that there isn't really any like anything resembling marriage. Everything is done by community. So the idea of having like an exclusive romantic pairing is something that is almost would be socially shunned if you did it openly. But at the same time, there is that sort of secret undercurrent network where people are like, well, if you would prefer to pair with this person, or if you have a preference to pair with this person, I think we call it their leisure years. So even if you have a preference to spend your leisure years just simply donating your genetic material and then spending it with a same-sex partner, there's like kind of that whispered rumor that like, oh, you go to this station, or you say this key phrase, and like people will quietly make arrangements for you where that can happen. Yeah,
that's very cool. I like it because it sort of speaks to a Yeah, that how their society has progressed, and they're sort of deliberately getting rid of the trappings of sort of what sort of nature intended, and moving on to a more enlightened. Let's not. Yeah, so the children will be raised creche style, presumably.
Yes, it's like a role that is given to so it's considered to be like one of the highest and most honored roles of like raising and educating the next generation. In fact, it's considered many of the people within that role, once they retire, they like become part of the society's like patriarchs and matriarchs, which is
leaders,
the leadership kind of role. And patriarch and matriarch is kind of weirdly used because it's not really considered to be a gendered name within their society. It's like essentially you can assign yourself. I think patriarch is considered to do more with education, or it's almost aligned with teacher, and then matriarch is almost more in align, like the word that would align with leader. So it's like different words that meaning different things. So
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's very cool, Malika. I really like it.
Thank you.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you very much for your incredible creativity. So, we'll probably press on with the story at this point. But that's really cool. And something for me to delve into next time. So, mateys, let us tremulously at first, and then with mounting heat and passion, boldly go where only the people who evolved there have been before. So you guys have proved your worth in the eyes of the Dean of the Avarunnden Yilopisto, the great academy of ancient Sargon. The Dean, Iliara Matomix, has decreed that you have all done well enough to graduate. Congratulations. Final marks are determined by any roll you choose to make. I would like you all to make a check with whatever skill you like to make. Spectral Kitsune is a good name. Thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag.
Josh. Tiny question. With my upgrade, I chose a +1 to flight. Does that mean I roll a d20 and add a 1 to it?
We'll add a 1 to it, yep.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna do brains, because...
I lost my dice.
In one of your many piles of things.
No, it yeeted itself across the...
No.
So that's a 16.
No, I'm going to use my re-roll. That's ridiculous. I got a 7!
A 7! We're burning the re-roll early. Okay, I like it.
I have about, like, 5 adversity tokens. I'm not entirely sure what they mean.
You can use them to buff the roll if you like.
Okay,
but
we'll
basically
see if
everyone you can increase everyone you spend, you can increase the roll by 1.
Can I just clarify, Josh? Because I have the overachiever improvement. If I roll charm, I add 2, right? That feels correct. If
I believe so.
Correctly of how this works. Great. Let's do that. Easy. So I got a 14 functionally because I rolled a 12. So
two.
So I would assume that I'm interacting with an authority figure by being judged for like.
Yeah, it's the way I'm inferring this works is sort of like you each come back and write a report on what you did, and it's how you phrase that report or what you report on. I'm basically, this is very arbitrary, but I thought it was probably the fairest way to determine who did the best.
I just with mine, like I deliver my report, but I also add like a present for the teacher and an apple, and like that's
totally how Mandi would do it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Skylar, a 16, Mandi a 14. Spot, how'd you do?
17.
17. And ZuRon, how'd you go?
ZuRon reroll was a 15, and I have a +1 to brain, so it's a 16.
Wow. Okay. Cool. Interesting. So, you all got pretty good marks, actually. And you have been formally assigned formally assigned to the org. You are now official. You all receive a promotion to ensign. You are now officers of the org. With Spot getting the top marks in the crew as well, which is a very respectable A- overall. It's a good average.
Checks out.
Maddie lost marks for eating her homework.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Twice.
I mean, Spot's
sorry,
highest is
miss.
brains,
I
so...
ate my homework.
Yeah, like it was organic. You made me write it on paper, and I ate it.
Eventually you wind up handing in an assignment that's etched into steel. It's the only way you can do it.
Acid etching. Had to go talk to some people.
Yeah. You guys have proved your worth in the eyes of the Dean. There is a ceremony where you get to stand up in front of your classmates and your family, get invited. It's graduation day. And you are all, you basically one at a time traipse across the stage and are presented with your little pips, your insignia, what would they give? What sort of graduation thing would there, like a gift that a university would give?
Would it potentially be dependent on one's
Yeah, absolutely, I think. One species or
species or vocation within the org?
Yes, that's true as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a snow globe. I don't hate that idea actually. As you traipse across the stage one at a time, you have donned your best outfits for the day. You have
Maddie has
spruced
forced
yourselves
herself
up.
into a shape. She's like, okay, shape. What is the best shape? She spent all morning thinking about what the best shape is. I would like chat to tell me what they think the best shape is for graduation day. What shape does Mandy have to force herself into?
Graduation cap.
What is graduation shape?
Graduation cap.
Like
Mushroom
the hat?
cap, yes.
An academic cap.
The book.
What do people look like? Skylar, what is Skylar's formal regalia?
Skylar is decked out in full pilot's attire now.
Mm-hmm.
With basically sort of that whole military dress whites basically is what he's wearing at this point, which is stark contrast to his very dark black and pinkish purple feathers. So
awesome.
he looks very very striking.
And the Dean straightens your lapels a little bit and says, "Looking good there, Skylar," and then pins onto you the crossed wings of a pilot graduate.
Thank you, madam. Dean.
As following on behind Skylar, ZuRon, you cross the stage. What does ZuRon look like?
What does his formal wear look like?
Is it modifications to the suit?
It is modifications to the suit. Okay. Rather than a graduation hat, I think we have to do the tradition of him wearing what vaguely resembles a 20th century humanoid baseball cap. And of course, once they graduated, he turned it from the front to the back.
Yeah.
As you do, as one must. Oh goodness.
Does it have like a propeller?
I almost want it to. Well, it does now. It
It does
does
now.
now. Yes.
We're going to start looking like the intergalactic village people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his outfit is a lot more brightly colored than it typically is. So think more, less actual b-boy dancer and kind of more muted tones and more TLC album or Will Smith in the early episodes of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh,
Colour
amazing.
So there's
Like sweatpants.
That's bright neon colors all over, with the sweat jacket, sweatpants, t-shirt, and cap with like the little quarter colors and the spinny on the top. He has his his chest puffed out, and he's feeling very, very fine in his 90s bright finery getup. And his
Yes.
people are all just kind of all seated in their assorted suits that look very different to his. For starters, the bottom, the feet almost resemble like flat and circular, almost like the feet of an elephant, but taken from a different species that we might address later. I don't know. And the texture from the feet to the waist is like this gray pebbled synthetic, but it's made to look almost like skin, like armor skin, like to the waist. And then from the waist to the top, it has like almost thick and then very visibly like a alloy armor that covers the chest and the arms. And you can see, because it is a formal occasion, they all have, though, their gloves off and their hands are out with their long fingers trailing down the knees. And they're just sort of, as ZuRon passes, they all just sort of politely twiddle the fingers a little bit as they hang down, and there's like a sort of very low, almost vibrational humming as they do that.
I love it. Yeah, Malika, I think you should write a book. You've
Yes.
got incredible
Yes.
imagination for this creation of new cultures.
Yeah.
Long-term goal Josh has to now make Malika DM.
Yes.
You've got the imagination for it.
Yes.
Yeah, I love this. Yeah, their applause is actually just sort of clicking their fingers together.
Yeah.
It's an upside down of the deaf applause.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. Cool. And yes, you have a little cogwheel pinned onto, not pinned, I think it's a magnet onto your suit. So it just thunk, and you can adjust it at will. But it's definitely magnetic. And she's Master ZuRon. Well done. Congratulations. You sterling work there. Well done. Mandi, what shape have you assumed?
So I'm going to steal part of an idea from chat and then go with that. I think she sort of mushrooms across the stage. So it's like
Ooh.
it starts out as like a mushroom shape. But when she graduates, the top half of it changes to a graduation cap shape. So it's like mushroom bottom, graduation cap, top half.
love
And
this.
she's probably got like a little metal bit that she's like, I don't know how she would stick it onto the front of herself, but there's like a metal piece because it can't be organic.
Yeah.
Because otherwise she's consuming it. So that there's something for people to like stick things on.
Oh, I thought about this.
Oh,
yeah.
you thought about it? Okay, well then in that case, I will let
Dean-
you do your
The Dean,
thing.
it is a what's the word? Ancient piece of navigation equipment using like
Sextant.
sextant. Thank you. Yes.
You're welcome.
It is a sextant, like a stylized sextant badge, but it is on a unarticulated metal band. Like a sash that she can drape over you, and then she's got that is pinned on that.
Yeah.
Meeples and Dragons are raiding.
Dragons. I I know those guys.
Those guys are really awesome and
familiar with
cool.
those
Thank you so
people.
much for the raid, you bloody champions. Avast, mateys, you wee scallywags. Favorite raid emotes up in chat, guys. Our lovely gang of lovable teens in space have just graduated from space school.
Space school.
From the Avarunnden Yilopisto, the training academy for the organization, the Technical Hyperspatial Exploration Organization. Guys, thank you so much for the raid. John, what the heck were you guys doing?
I believe they were
World
playing...
of Warcraft.
Yeah, they were playing WoW. I believe.
Sure. Was it John or was it Saz playing?
I think it was Saz playing, if memory
Ah.
serves me correctly.
Excellent.
I also think that, like, when that sash gets plonked
Both.
over the top of her... Both, that's right. Plonked over the top of her, like, you see a couple of oozes in the audience who just extend up little, like, tendrils of ooze. Like, it's like the equivalent of the Auslan applause, but it looks more like...
Amazing.
Because there are no hands.
Yeah.
So it's the equivalent of...
So they wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man at you. Yeah.
Too bad at you. Because that's the equivalent. Because when one does not have articulating digits, this
Fair.
is not as impressive. But the articulating car salesman, tube man,
Yeah.
is the appropriate...
Intergalactic proton powered electrical tentacled advertising droids.
Yes, exactly.
Cool, excellent. I love it.
And anyone sitting too
is
close,
that your parents?
absolutely hear. Yes, that is my
Yeah.
parents. Anyone who is sitting too close absolutely hears it, and it's that sound that I'm not going to make into a microphone because that is not a pleasant sound for people who don't like ASMR. So
Yeah, valid.
but that goopy sound.
Oh gosh. Cool. And that is Oozmodius and have we had a
I'm
thought?
still coming up with a good pun. I
Okay.
don't love anything that I've come up with so far. Give me
Okay.
like I'm on it. I need a good.
It's all good, all good. Alrighty, and last but not least, Spot. Takes a little longer to cross the stage because you're tiny little legs and there is no pneumatic system. But there is. Would Spot's family be there?
Members of it. So
Yeah.
Quillarians consider all Quillarians as one big family.
Yeah.
So members of the family are in the audience, and
I imagine them in a hebation. Like on a hebation. Like a tree is there and
Yes.
it's got branches full, and the tree slowly claps its branches together. And its branches are full of little Quillarians.
yes, definitely. To be polite to everyone else, the hebation is at the back of the
yeah.
audience. But holding up, like you see these little balls of fuzz along the branches, while Spot is trying her best to walk on her back legs in a sort of dignified manner, even though she really wants to just go, Roomba across the stage. Because that's faster. And she has carefully brushed back the spines or quills on her head, and
still a
some
little
of them
blunt.
have... Yeah.
Only been 2 days.
Little singed, a little blunt, a little... but she's done her best, and in the white spot giving her nickname, you see a little, like a hair clip in there with a little... what's that? With a little amethyst on it to hold it back a little bit. And she's also wearing a scarf with like various little badges on it that someone has sewn onto it.
Yes,
and the
excellent.
quills on her back have just also been like brushed down.
Glorious. And yes.
Is she a quill scout?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
she is.
Oh.
And there is a little lift to get you up to the same height as everybody else, so you can get there. And it basically it's like a cherry picker.
A cherry picker?
Yeah. So you get on it, and it just hinges you up, so that you can receive your badge without the dean having to bend over at the waist to get you. And they pin on it is the traditional symbol of Earth. Two snakes around a staff. She pins that on you. As the ship's medic position has been given to you, and she says, "Well done, Lieutenant." And big surprise, she also gives you a second pin. She is making you not an ensign. She is buffing you up to second lieutenant. She was just like, particularly well done. Very proud of you, young Spot.
Wow.
She pops the pips on your shoulder and says, "Gather your crew. I would like to meet you afterwards. I have a proposition for you, or rather, Commodore Thrixis has. But
You
of course,
see,
go and talk to your family. They obviously want to say congratulations."
You see the quills on Spot's head just meep, and then she shrinks down. Her eyes goes like to this, like. Okay.
It'll be fine. Cool. So, yeah, you go and see your family. Mandy, who do you go and see?
So, I think... So, Mum's name is clearly Goona, so I can have Goona. Goonagh, the proper Gaelic way. Goona, and Uzimet and Uzmodius, because those are the only two appropriate names that I could come up with. Who are, I think Informians only have one child because it is a lot of effort to split oneself into bits.
I think never doubles at a time. Yeah, it probably takes a while. Yeah.
So, I think I
No
was sort of
siblings.
no, and there's no sort of hug because one doesn't want to. We are both organic, so we cannot hug. Because if you hug, you would combine, and that
So
would be a
They've
terrible.
never
choice.
known the loving touch of their parent.
No. Only one like Dad probably Uzmodius probably pats her on the sash because that's
Yeah.
about as close as you've got to have something in between.
Otherwise, you inadvertently blend.
Yeah, and that's just not a pleasant feeling.
Yeah, okay. That
Close.
that's less tragic.
Yeah, it's more like,
oh no,
Dad.
yeah, I got some of Dad in me. Yeah, it's no, that's not nice. Yeah, that's fair.
Got some of Dad in me is something someone's gonna clip, and that's gonna be a bad choice.
Tony, I'm using magical space logic, and I'm saying that in my space organization, second lieutenant is it's not an army rank. It's the magical space equivalent. I've decided. But you are correct.
And also, I was just like, yeah, it's also that moment of just being like, yes, but also we're making stuff up. Tony.
I'm literally making it up.
We're making Tony. These characters don't really exist. We're making it all up on the spot. But yeah, I think that idea of like you can't touch, but it's that thing where you sort of you kind of you exist in the same space as each other, but you don't actually have to be making contact with each other for people to appreciate it.
Yeah,
That
sure,
would be weird
absolutely.
To get a bit of Dad in you or a bit of Mum in you.
Yeah, no, can we? It's not real. Yeah, I know.
Moving
Crispin.
on.
Do not make things on spot. Sounds uncomfortable.
That's fair.
Yes,
It's
she's very
Yeah, I love
prickly
you.
about
Thank
that.
you so much.
Alrighty, cool. So yeah, you guys go and talk to your families. You can, if you'd like to roleplay it, I'm up for it.
I don't need to if anyone else
Cool.
wants to.
Alrighty, let's move the story along then. You are all messaged to attend the the Dean and Commodore Thrixis a little bit later, and you do so. Let's say you meet at the Dean's office, which you have been in before. The Dean is a my notes. Where's my notes? Very unhelpful. I've gone and deleted it. She is. Now I scroll up to the very beginning where my original notes were. The Dean is a
Of a school.
A professional.
Yes, she is a Mystarian, a native of Sargon, and over 1,000 years old. Her head tails have long since reached her waist. Her main eyes, kind of smile at you when you enter. And her second set are reading a holopad. This is something you are aware of. She is constantly good. Like, they are famously good at multitasking, and yeah, her second set of eyes are usually reading. She just is a sponge for knowledge, and with her is the name of the species is they're quite hard to spot for what they are. They are called Calcians. And they are a race of uploaded intelligences. Their species was dying out. They couldn't figure out exactly why, and the reasons have been lost to time. Even the Calcians don't really remember anymore. There used to be a species called what they call the Zeros, but now they all live in robotic bodies, and they reproduce by uploading, copy pasting themselves into a new body. But often they blend two sets of sort of memories and psychologies into a new one. So the process of procreation is very much digital, and two people or more sit there and combine their memories together and just cherry pick the bits that they're giving to their offspring, which is kind of neat.
I love that.
He looks, he has a humanoid body, but only in the broadest sense. A very skeletal figure, quite blocky up and down. Ghost Swarm. Thank you very much for the follow. Good name, too. Thank you very much. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. It's about 50% taken from the book, but I'm embellishing upon it. It's pretty neat. He has his head is this conical thing, with loads of different sensory apparatus on it, and one eye lens is very sort of twitchy and movable, but there is a bunch of others. You would infer he can perceive loads of different ways. So he can see the visible light spectrum, but he can also see an infrared, and he can hear things much higher and much lower than most people can. ZuRon's hearing is very good, though. He is there in the uniform of the Exploratory Corps, which is the primary group, the primary focus of the org that you guys work for. The Dean says, good, thank you for joining us, guys. My responsibility for you is at an end. However, Commodore Thrixis here has a proposition for you. He is interested in commissioning you as a full crew in the Exploratory Corps, which, as I'm sure you're aware, is a little unusual. But you really did impress us with your last mission. It's not very few cadets come back with a first contact, particularly a hostile one that you've managed to survive. So, good job there. Isn't it correct, Commodore? And she turns to the Commodore, and the Commodore says, "Yes, we are very impressed. It also is interesting that you have bonded so effectively with your vessel. So you will be keeping her, I believe it has decided. You all work well together. Why break up what isn't broken? Yes. Your first mission would actually be a continuation of your last mission. first contact, but ideally a better first contact. See if you could, not have so much of a fight this time around. It is our mission is peaceful exploration, and I know the fault was not yours, but it is important to see who these people are. We have learned they are the Horalka, but little else has been learned about them. So, with your skills, yes, this is what has been decided, provided, of course, you are amenable to the job.
I personally don't see why not. If Sunshine's up for it, I'm up for it.
I'm down.
Maddie's looking at Spot more because Spot now has a higher rank, so she's just kind of like, I know that I don't get to make the decision.
Well,
Not up to me.
yes, the Commodore sort of, his head spins and then spins again, sort of looks at Mandy, sees Mandy observing Spot and says, well, the rank system is, it's there to make other organizations feel more comfortable with us. However, the intention is not to spoil the way your crew already works. Spot here, Lieutenant Spot here, acquired their rank through good marks, and their promotion above the rest of you is intended simply as a means of a tiebreaker. Not to make them the commanding officer so much as if someone does need to make a call, Spot's the one to do it. However, you all have your own different areas of expertise. If a piloting decision needs to be made, and since Skylar would be the one to make it, a navigation one, Mandi would be the one to make it. ZuRon is the ship's engineer. Spot wouldn't presume to tell ZuRon how to do his job.
Spot vividly remembers what happened when she tried to pilot ZuRon's suit.
Has Spot told ZuRon?
No.
No. It wouldn't have been immediately obvious because whilst it wasn't in the spot that ZuRon left it in, it could easily have fallen about in the chaos of the ships getting away from the Horalka. So that's a thing.
Just sort of the most inappropriate song for that moment. I might share it. I might not. I might share it. I might not. Yeah. Right.
Some cadets come back alive. Most cadets come back alive. They also have much less exciting adventures. Take longer to occur. Some cadets take longer to return. We're still waiting some from our first class. I was like, they're missing in action. They're not dead. So
necessarily.
Some of them have been missing in action for.
Find them.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't lost them. We just don't know where they are.
Temporarily misplace them, both temporarily and physically.
Yes. And they've been lost in time temporarily.
Yes.
So. Commander Thrixer says
Spot is still looking at Maddie's still looking at Spot like she knows, but also you have a bigger title than her, so she's still gonna do the slight it's the instinctive slight difference, not the once it's just them, it's not gonna matter. But in this moment it's the
cool.
They're put away safely from us. Thank you, Froggy.
Yeah. He says, well, then probably the first thing you want to do is to have an interview with our recent. I'd hesitate to use the word prisoners, but they did attempt to kidnap you, so they are being detained. We are
guests.
Giving them, guests is correct, yes. They have not been overly communicative, though I am not 100% across it. So I suppose your first trip should be over there to see what you can learn about their people before you attempt to make first contact the right way. I trust you shall do us proud, and unless you have any further questions, I shall leave you to it.
Oh. Well, am I supposed to be the person to talk to them? or should I leave that to someone else? Because
Whoever
they were
is...
kind of big and scary and, floating and...
Well,
big.
talking to them is actually proving to be somewhat difficult. So if you guys can figure out how, that might be your first port of call.
Well, I'm supposed to make the ship go fast, but I can go in with you for moral support, Spot.
That would be nice, yes.
We're not leaving you by yourself.
Yeah.
It's okay. I remembered what the voice was. It's fine.
There
We
it is.
got
Yeah.
Found it. Yeah. It's okay.
Blended. Well, excellent. If you have any further requests for information, the man in charge over there, Marx von Strundel, a Vertusian, you'll know him when you see him. He is the sort of head keeper. He's a scientist, and he's doing his level best, but they are being remarkably uncooperative, so any assistance you could provide him would probably be greatly appreciated. Well, I'll leave you to it then. Dean, thank you very much. And so his voice obviously is surprisingly natural for this robotic body. His movements, however, are still extremely sort of clank, 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 clank. The body is... Its movements are effective. It's very efficient. There is little wasted energy in it. But yeah, it is clearly a robot. If you were to put him in a human suit, he would still very much look like a robot wandering around. But no effort has been made to disguise the fact that he is a digital being. And he stands, actually, a fun other little bit of world building, that they don't inhabit their robotic forms all the time. Sometimes they like to upload into a communal computer circuit and just hang out in digital.
I like that.
Sometimes you don't want to have friends in the analog space. You need friends in the digital space.
Yeah. The meat space is hard. Even in
There's a whole episode about that.
Yeah.
So Skylar does have a small question for the Dean.
Oh, yes.
And that is just, he's going to look over at her. Just, Miss Dean?
Yes.
How did Euripides' nuts go?
They did very well. I'll be honest, straight A's across the board. She smiles at that and says, well, yes, but they do study hard. Nobody likes a goody two-shoes, but they are effective.
If an ooze could look slightly like, Maddie would, because being a goody
She's
two-shoes
definitely
is
a
kind
goody
of her whole
two-shoes.
bit. Yeah. That's why she didn't get good marks.
Yes. Yeah, nobody likes a suck-up, and gives just a tiny glance to Mandy and then says, but they did do very well in their exam.
I mean,
And she pats you
Maddie-
on the sash and says, just try a little less hard.
I don't know how to do that. I just try a regular.
She slinks back and tries to sit on the least comfortable looking couch, probably because it's the only one that's not made of leather.
There's a
or
steel
whatever.
chair.
It's and tries, and because it's a steel chair, tries not to slip through the gaps. Very much
I
holding.
was imagining there would be a flat, not like
you were.
It's not a grate.
That's what you were imagining.
That would be more uncomfortable. Yeah, you're right.
The horrible crisscross metal.
She's grating herself.
oh my god.
No,
Ow.
actively trying not to cheese grate herself.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Malika?
What is it? ZuRon got distracted by Euripides' nuts because he was started thinking about Brittany again. But then he was like, I forgot to ask what was the robot called?
Commodore?
Forgot to ask the Commodore about pay. Because surely we're getting getting some kind of financial. I've forgotten what the voice
Oh,
is.
yes, no, of course you are. As an ensign, you receive a base pay. You all do.
We have jobs now. And
Yes.
not that stupid cleaning job that they made me do just because I could eat all the organic
No,
stuff.
that was punishment detail. That was explained.
Yeah, no,
eating
but
an
you can see she's
exceptionally
still
rare
disgruntled about the idea
plant.
of being forced to be.
Wait. You're telling me that I now get paid to make the ship go fast?
Yes, dear.
Oh, that's the dog's bollocks.
Isn't that why you came to... All right, excellent. Well, the Dean, a little less confident with the group that she's sending out now than she was beforehand, because you're like, wow, they did not even understand the basic idea of premise of this whole thing. She says, Spot, well, yes, I'm leaving this crew in good hands. Off you go then. Yeah, she sends you on your way. ZuRon, as you leave, you receive a text message, and I'm imagining here, and I hope you'll go with me on this, that ZuRon has a 90s style Nokia.
Beeper! Okay.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. He has a
Yeah.
beeper. Yeah.
He has a beeper.
You feel a vibrating from your waist, you lift it up, and you see a text on it from Brittany Fleischman. Saying, hey, wanna get coffee or whatever.
Steam could come out of his ears.
And I think we'll go for a short breaklet there. Alrighty, guys. Well, yes, we've been going for an hour and a half now, so we will take a short little breaklet back at 5 to 10. And we'll see you guys very, very soon for some more Teens in Space! We have to say it like that. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Be back in just a sec, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.
Boy.
Avast ahoy and g'day, mateys. We be back for some more Teens in and furthermore Space!
Space.
So, yeah, the guys have just been given their new assignment by their new boss, Commodore Trixis, which is actually a short for, oh, wow, another couple of followers as well. Sorry, dyslexic and
Hi, shiny people.
ADHDing, yes, all over the place. TROY, New Zealand, and Sandy Rocks, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champions. Avast, mateys, you wee scallywags.
Now I
It
have to
took
be
me
really
a
careful
minute
with my face because
to do-
Troy's gonna gift me.
It took me a minute
Yes,
to do
please.
this to work out Troy as well. I was like, Kate saw me going like, what's that spell? Yeah, because
All the gifts of Kate, please.
yeah,
Yes.
Kate does gifts of everybody else. I don't see why
No,
not.
I don't. I do clips of everybody else because
Oh.
he's not here to do it for me.
Yeah, all right. Thrixis is short for 366. And it's a contraction of his original model number.
Nice.
Yeah, ZuRon, you have just received a text message from the lovely Brittany Fleischman, who's a bit of a bitch, but you have a bit of a little thing for. I don't know in what manner of a thing you have, but you definitely have something for her.
Yeah.
The human girl, and so
Sorry. Again, something I have to say later. Yeah, he's very interested in meeting different species, which is again somewhat unusual for his people.
So yeah, your security clearance has been upgraded. You are now official The Organization personnel. You each have, what would the orgs, like the Star Trek communicator badgy thing, what would the organization's one look?
I feel like it's a donut. It's like an O.
Yes, it's a donut.
It's a big donut, like O shape.
They didn't intend that, but it's an O shape with loads of planets on it.
Yeah.
But the planets are really small, so they look like sprinkles.
Yeah.
So the joke
Yes.
is that everybody thinks it's a freaking donut.
Yeah.
So you walk around with donuts, bloop, on your. I mean, only two of you have a chest on which to put it that it wouldn't be too large to sit on. But yeah, it's got a built-in universal translator in it, and yeah. They also carry, it's sort of like ID as well, so that's how you can get into restricted areas, and yeah. Hot Dog, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. Yeah, so you have been directed to attend the detainment facility where the Herolka are being held. The two that you managed to take prisoner have been offloaded off your ship, Sunshine. And ZuRon, you've been offered a coffee by Brittany Fleischman. What do you guys do?
ZuRon is in a little bit of, he's excited, but he's also in a state of paralysis. It's like he's excited, but he's like, wait, what do I do? what do I do?
Are you
you okay?
saying this out loud? Yeah.
He probably thinks he is thinking it, but he's just probably frozen. Like if they've all
ZuRon?
get it out, he's paused and is now several steps behind the rest of the group.
And he's in his
Staring
big
at-
suit, so he's just still, and we're like, oh no, he's stopped
no.
moving.
He's like, oh, what do I?
Yeah,
What do I do?
Skylar's going to wander over and start pumping his arms for him.
Yeah.
Just, are you stuck?
Ron, are you okay?
And then he just sort of like releases. So Skylar's just pumping one arm and like holding the beeper in the other arm. He like shows Skylar the text.
Skylar's little crest goes forward, goes up for a minute at the sight of Brittany's name, but he knows that ZuRon has a little feel, so it slowly goes back down, and he's just, well, I'd suggest, if you like her, accept.
Yeah. Yes. Of course. But how, do I just say yes? Yes. Do I? There are 3 different coffee shops. There are 3 different coffee shops across campus.
Do
And
you
only one
have
of
a
them's
favorite
coffee is
one,
halfway
ZuRon?
decent.
If you have a favorite one, just suggest that one if you don't want to go to the other ones.
Well, I don't really have a favorite. I don't like coffee, but
She like, goes to touch ZuRon and realizes that's a terrible idea. Just like,
Ron, why do you? Coffee doesn't have to be coffee. It's like a universal signal for like sit down and have a beverage that doesn't have alcohol in it. That's like what it
You could
means.
have chocolate, you could have tea, you could have that weird plant juice they mash up and put the cold things in.
You have water. Doesn't matter.
yes. Oh, yes. And he starts to like calm down a bit, and he's like, oh, yes. Of course, you're right. I'll just think about this.
ZuRon, also, if you want to impress her, really, when it comes to paying for it, you pay for it. We got a really big commission just now, so we can afford it.
Yeah.
Good. That's all good. And he like furrows his little lizard brow and puts his head down, and just as the group, I imagine, you start moving again and he starts moving again, you just hear like the tick tick tick, and erase, then tick tick tick, erase. Like he's trying to find a way to be like cool and chill and suave, and he is none of those things. Our poor salamander boy.
ZuRon. Psst.
Eh?
Remember, she likes you for you, so don't try and be anyone else.
Exactly.
You guys are all so sweet. That was Mercy, not ZuRon.
Yeah.
You guys are all very cute. Okay, so he types something up like, and it's a while. It's like literally, and then like closes his eyes and hits send.
But he actually misses the first time, and he actually presses delete, so he's removed the last letter of the last word, and then he presses send, so he's like, oh no, I've sent the wrong,
Oh no.
It's like,
I'm trying to think of what the last word would be to make it extra funny.
ZuRon. The answer is ZuRon, and then
Yeah, so it's like
it's ZuRon.
ZuRon.
Excellent.
And it's almost like one of those weird Regency letter replies. I almost picture it of being like
Dearest
Miss Fleischman.
It's Damien from Dream Daddy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would be delighted to accept your gracious invitation to indulge in a beverage.
To indulge in a beverage, but you've deleted the last few letters, so it's to indulge in a beaver.
Yes.
And he's like,
I wasn't finished. I wasn't finished.
Just all caps. She receives like 3
Beverage.
texts one after the
ZuRon, it's okay. Don't stress. Fine, you're good.
It's okay, ZuRon. It's okay.
So, yeah, she sends back, cool, I'll meet you at 5.
Where?
Oh, no, yeah, she says, cool, I'll meet you at 5. You can have beaver if you like.
Oh, goodness.
I love that now Kate's just like, oh, you go, have fun. Because I'm the sweetest little nothing. I can't respond now.
I don't know if Mandy would necessarily know that is.
No, I wouldn't know.
What's wrong? Yeah, it looks like your brain turned into me.
Shape.
Just a blob.
He short-circuited, I think.
So we've got a couple of hours before Brittany has before the ZuRon's potential eating out session.
Oh, God damn it.
Just
I mean,
dinner.
his species does have long fingers. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I'm dying.
It's like what are their primary like mating rituals? Is everyone measuring the length of their fingers? Why? What? I'm tired.
No, this is welcome to making stuff up on the internet forever.
Yep,
That's great.
one of us. You've got a couple of hours, so you definitely have time to go and see the Heralta first.
Okay.
And now your most technically proficient member is completely befuddled. The head scientist in charge is Marx von Strundl. A Tanford Vetusian, his green-lensed protective goggles the only way of telling which way he is looking. His fur is so thick and lustrous. He's basically just this pillar of floof. He's about 4.5 feet tall, and yes, green goggles, big, thick lenses as well. You know that the Vertusians come from a very dark planet, so to exist in a place with as much light as most species favor, they need essentially huge sunglasses at all times, otherwise they will go blind.
Hi. Ooh, hello.
Ozzy Ozan!
Raiders!
Thank you very much for the raid, Ozzy
Hi.
Ozan. Good on you, mate. Lady Dragon Master. Ooh. Lol, can't fail. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Favorite raider modes up in chat, everybody. Yes, bloody champions. We are playing raid. We're playing Teens in Space!
Space!
Space.
The gang is going to interrogate a new alien species that they have just encountered that is almost first contact, and they were almost abducted by these people, and they managed to abduct them in response. So when you get there, you find that the Horelka are in a pretty small and bare prison cell. The two of them have been separated, but only by a bar, only by cell bars down the center. As they are floating, they do not require any furniture. That's the word. God, that took a while. I sent that one down to long-term memory storage, and it just took a little while for it to come back up. Yes,
The
Teens
lift's
in
broken.
Space,
Almost
the
like
shenanigans, the romance, the inevitable vandalism. Yes, Ozzy, exactly.
Yes.
Shapes.
I feel so called
So
out right now.
many shapes.
Yeah, I mean, accurately. So yeah, these two, essentially, they are floating bags of gas attached to an agglomeration of tentacles and things underneath. Think Man-O-Wars. They are Gestalt entities, actually a group of organisms that form a being. They are floating on either side of. They're both in reasonably large spaces. The gas bags themselves are about 6 feet across, and like living blimps essentially. And they've been given sort of 30-foot square rooms, decent size. It's not like a prison cell, but they are both clustered on either side of the bars and do not appear inclined to move. And they have tentacles going through the bars that they are touching each other with. Just sort of, it's hard to tell why. These are extremely alien creatures. But yes, the Vertusian Marx, scientist Marx von Struder, sees you enter and says, "Ah, you are the ones who was originally collecting these specimens, yeah?"
That's right.
Collecting, hiding from, trying desperately not to get killed by.
Good. I can use your assistance in then. I have learned very little all about these, except their name. One of them, the one on the left over there, that is called Cloud Hunter. But other than that, I know very little. They are not being very communicative at all.
Now, I don't remember. I don't think Spot could hear them. And one of us did hear.
ZuRon could hear them.
ZuRon can hear them.
Yes.
Yeah. ZuRon, you could make out your universal translator was picking up what they were saying. You could, however, when they see by sonar. And it was, you were picking up that your ears, particularly when you were lying down, so you were on a surface, you could feel the vibrations of that. So you figured out that they see through vibrations, and he does confirm that. He says, there is a lot we have learned about them physically. I am able to tell you an awful lot. They do breathe the oxygen, but they also require a large quantity of nitrogen as well. They metabolize it. So fortunately our air is perfectly fine for them. My supposition is that they live on a cloud giant, like a gas giant. There is no need for them to ever land, so it is entirely possible that they evolved there. What is interesting about that, of course, is that how did they then create space travel? You say they live in very large ships. How do they do this when there is no land on which to mine minerals or anything like this? It's fascinating, but they are not talking at all. Perhaps you can offer some suggestions, maybe as they have already interacted with you?
I have to say the interactions weren't exactly hospitable.
Nine. Well, there is that, of course, but why? Why were they attacking you? Why were they trying to kidnap you? What do you suppose they were trying to do? You, I believe, Master Skylar, or Ensign Skylar and Ensign ZuRon, you are seeing the inside of their ship?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Question, because I can't remember what it was they said. Did they say that unity was strength or unity was weak?
No, unity was strength.
Strength.
I think they were saying, like, they were accusing you of a lack thereof. But what you do remember is that whenever they talked, they spoke at the same time. They always moved in pairs, and they always spoke at the same time.
So perhaps ZuRon, in his particularly romantic mood, just like he sort of looks at them all entangled together, and then like he murmurs, but like the crew presumably are close enough to hear them, where he was like, the unity is strength and division is weakness.
Yeah? What is that?
When we were captured, they said something, I can't remember exactly, but they said unity or united, something along those lines, captured in my translator. United, strength, and division, or possibly even the individuality is weakness.
That is interesting. I suppose they are talking about so these are a gestalt entity. They are actually not one. Each one you see here is actually an agglomeration of some 40 individuals, sort of working together, each one fulfilling the function of an organ, or a limb. So each of the tentacles is technically its own being. So they cannot exist without they are symbiotically linked together. That could be what they are talking about?
I'm getting all tomorrow's vibes from that.
They're like the new bottle colony.
That's just Kate going, nudge stuff from work.
I mean,
You're like, in the only way that I cannot work out how this would physically look, but go for your lives for everyone else's own brains. She kind of looks down at herself. It's like an image you can have.
So Mandi is
how that
just
works.
a large blob with eyes and a mouth, basically, right? Yeah. That sort of just float in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, I mean, I'm a unity of mum and dad, so I mean, I'm strong because of unity. I guess be weird if I got divided. That'd be bad.
She's like thinking about like times where she's started sliding into chairs, like the metal one in the office, and just gone,
Not comfy. Sorry. Like, I guess that's true. Kinda.
I see that. I mean, I get very uncomfortable every time I molt.
Yeah, you should really need to stop asking me to clean that up.
No. It was more than discomfort. It was disgust that came through. I remember disgust. Something about separation and individuality. It disgusted them.
Well, no wonder they don't want to talk to you. You've got them in two different cells.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very well. He presses a button, and the bars between them. They, now that you mention it, they were they appeared quite upset when they were fully separated in different rooms. So this is why we put them in adjoining rooms. But if you think, and he raises it up, and they immediately gather together and move away from the center of the room. They raise up a little bit and go to they basically get as far away from any wall as they can. So they go to the center
Does that
of one
include
of the
a
two
ceiling?
rooms. Yes.
So they basically try and float as centrally
as-
in the room as...
Yes, they go to the center of the left room, and which is slightly larger, and just float as far as they can away from everything else.
Oh, you guys like to fly and be free as much as I do, don't you?
You are being some very helpful. You say their ship was very large. What did it look like on the inside?
Sort of cloudy, I think.
The walls,
Like the sky,
projections.
but
It was made to look sort of like the outside, I believe, Josh?
Yeah. It
Yeah,
looked
it
like
was-
the
it
clouds of
was-
a gas giant.
Yeah, it was made to look like the clouds of a gas giant, like we were on the outside in their world rather than inside a ship, I think.
Oh,
Open skies.
So maybe they're just very claustrophobic, I know.
maybe
I don't
they were
like-
put in there and not told they were taken from home.
oh. So,
Are we the baddies?
No, because then we took.
No, that was Mercy. That was
Yeah.
Mercy.
Nah,
But,
we're not bad.
we took them from that place, but that might have also been a bad place.
You can see her, like, in so much as she has a brain, her brain is worrying about, like, if they were trapped
Well-
somewhere that they shouldn't be,
Mm.
does that make her bad by having taken them to somewhere else they shouldn't? She's dealing with a small existential crisis about how to be nice to everybody.
This is an interesting proposition. Perhaps they are deeply agoraphobic. No,
Can
the opposite.
Skylar? Claustrophobic.
Claustrophobic.
Yeah,
Can Skylar reach out
I-
and try to touch them?
They are about 15 feet away on the far side of a glass wall. Though you would be aware, Skylar, that they can see right through it. And Spot and ZuRon can probably feel the vibrations. Actually, Mandi would almost certainly be able to feel those vibrations as well. She's got a lot of contact with the ground. Yeah, you can feel it they weren't making those vibrations at first, actually. But when
now
they
they've
move
been.
there, now they are starting to listen, effectively. Or starting to actively inquire about their space more than they were before.
Excuse me, Mr. Doctor. I don't remember your name.
Doctor, it's fine. Von Strudel.
Von Sturt. Okay, Von Sturt. Now,
He turns and his floof swishes around himself and looks down at you.
oh,
Magnificent.
fluffy. No, I'm sorry. So but maybe. Well, I'm not sure how much you know about my people, the Quillarians, but maybe they have been displaced, and they were looking for.
A new place.
No, like many years, long before I was born.
I know the history of the Quillarians, yeah.
Well, maybe something happened to them as well.
To their
Like the
homeworld.
gas giant. Yes. So maybe their homeworld was destroyed somehow. I mean, gas giants, if they get. Now, I'm not a scientist in that way. I'm a medic, but I imagine if something happens to their son, the gas giant could be destroyed.
They are deeply flammable. These are all very interesting suppositions, but the best way, of course, would be to ask them. You say you spoke to them. Would you do it again?
Maybe.
This is I suppose. Do we have my? Was this translator broken? I can't remember.
You could have. I would have said ZuRon would have fixed it in the last couple of days. If it was broken,
Okay.
it's fixed now. Or you've received new ones now that you've been entered into the organization properly. You've got your little translator donut.
Yeah. And was it only ZuRon's translator that picked up, or was it? I can't remember. Sorry.
I just don't think anybody else. I think two of you were spoken at or to. Yeah.
I feel like two feels right, but I know ZuRon was the one who spoke back at them.
Yeah.
But Yeah.
You were the only one who
Like,
actually had a back and forth. But what they were saying, one of them appeared, like, when you spoke to them, neither of them appeared to directly respond to what you were saying. The phrases were not, did not necessarily make sense with what you had just said.
Right. Okay. Well, ZuRon is he's open to try, and given that they've got their fancy new translators, maybe it'll be able to pick up a more coherent message than the kind of dual distant messages that he was receiving when he was kidnapped beforehand.
Well, let us attempt it then. They have been isolated, but as from what you are saying, it sounds like they would probably be appreciative of a larger cell to begin with, and maybe a little bit more space. They are probably feeling deeply upset. Maybe you can use that as a leverage. Talk to us, help us understand you, and maybe we can find you a bigger place. I don't want to hold their mental well-being over them, but, might help.
So, can always try.
Yeah,
Always
yeah.
try.
Well, he hits a button, and it becomes clear that what is glass becomes two-way glass. Not that really matters to these beings, as they can see through sonar. But yeah, he also presses a button and said, "You are live now. Guten Abend, Heralka. Cloud Hunter, your partner has been returned to you. These are the beings that you first interacted with, and we have some more questions. Perhaps you are a little bit more amenable to it now." And the beings both respond. One says, "We are Cloud Hunter." The other says, "Together we are stronger." And they say it simultaneously. All four of you, your translators pick that up, and it's a speaker, so it chucks out both things simultaneously. It's actually quite hard to make out because you're like, "We are Cloud Hunter," and "Together we are stronger," said simultaneously. It comes out very muddled to listen to.
We are clouds stronger together.
Yeah, exactly. That one has said that a lot.
Oh no! I think that together they are Cloud Hunter. It seems like
a worthy point. These are Gestalt entities. Perhaps their entire society is Gestalt. They don't view themselves as individuals.
And if they are disgusted by individuality, if it's unnatural to them, and ZuRon, having a rare streak of insight into other living creatures, says to the group, we should. Oh wait, he like dashes and like mutes the mic for a split second and says, "We should address them as a group, not as individuals. We should only speak for the group. Spot should speak for the group."
What? She immediately puts a paw over her white spot and says,
No. And in like a moment, because his brain again started whirring as this idea, he's convinced. He's like, no. They see group. That's what they understand. They don't understand the collective of individuals. So understand this, Spot. If you speak for us, and we present ourselves to them as a unit, maybe they will be more amenable, like the good doctor says.
If they
we
are
Sunshine.
We are Sunshine Crew, yeah.
We are Sunshine. No, we are Sunshine, not Sunshine Crew. Crew implies lots of people. We are Sunshine.
Yes, we are Sunshine.
Perhaps you should try talking together like they do. Say one thing simultaneously.
Oh, that would be
Up to?
confusing.
It would be very difficult, but if you work out what you are going to say before you say it, then you could all say the same thing. That would possibly make more sense to them.
Should we
Let's try
start
with
with
just we are sunshine.
yes, we are sunshine.
Ready?
A question?
Ready?
A question afterwards?
Our sunshine. Why are you here?
Why did you take us?
Yes.
We are sunshine. Why did
Why
you
did
take us?
Very well.
Yes.
He tries
Ready?
it. He presses the button. You're live.
And you see growth feet, the little growth that comes out of Mandi that just goes like 1, 2, 3 to try and cue everyone in together.
A single
Like,
tentacle.
Yeah.
2, 3.
We are
sunshine.
We are sunshine.
Why did you take us?
Take us.
Exactly.
That's what it sounds like, and that's they
Yes.
both swivel, and they don't have eyes or even faces, but they are now clearly listening much more intently. They are paying full attention to you, and they reply simultaneously still. These one understand, says one of them. The other says, their language still simple.
And ZuRon, excited that his theory was correct, does a little to the doctor, and
He mutes it
we
again.
understand and mutes it again. But wait, see, the response that's more.
I have an idea.
Little tentacle goes blah 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 blah.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Mandi.
They say two things at the same time. We said one thing at the same time. They called us simple.
And she looks slightly frustrated at the idea of like being called simple. Just like, we're complicated. I'm an ooze.
Okay.
I have thoughts and feelings. It matters.
So two of
You
us
have
say
lots of
one
matter.
thing, two of us say
matter.
another thing.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe two of us say like you didn't answer because they didn't answer our question. They just
Ooh. Yes. Two say you didn't answer, and the other two, as a challenge, say
Oh,
we are not simple.
Ooh.
oh, no.
Yes.
No, I think if we call them, instead of saying you didn't, we say Cloud Hunter didn't answer.
Like, yes.
Yeah.
So
who's saying what? Because it's probably important.
okay. Well, I guess if tonally, it makes more sense if Skylar and I say the same thing, and Mandi and Spot
Yes.
say the same thing.
Okay.
Oh, yes, because of our pitch.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. Okay. So Cloud Hunter didn't answer, and Skylar, we are not simple.
We are not simple.
So we say Cloud Hunter didn't answer?
Yes,
Yes.
Mandi.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Here we go. You guys are I can understand why you have graduated so well. This is good. Presses the button. And he is one pillar of floof. And when I'm miming pressing a button, it's the top bit of him just goes boom. He headbutts the button.
He does a Mandi basically. It's just like bloop.
Amazing.
One of slime,
There is fur everywhere.
Mandy's just
want to add-
sucking it up because it's technically organic because it's fur. So she's eating, which means that she's not going to calcify. It's great.
I just want to add that for the sake of people, one, with synesthesia and two, brain scrambling, let's not do the talking at the same time.
That's
well,
That's fair.
apologies.
Let us just say that you did. We had it the
So,
one
yeah.
time.
I think that's the overload
Yes.
for some people is going to be a lot. Yeah.
It was hard
Yeah.
for me. It was very cool, and it was neat just for that one off to get. Can we do just this one, because I want to give to show what it is like to listen to these creatures.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
So content warning if you don't like that.
Yes. Okay.
Cloud
Not simple.
Simple.
Yeah, that's really hard to
That's
understand.
really hard
yeah.
to do, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Even worse with the Zoom
my-
lag.
Yeah, my brain was like,
Cool. Cloud Hunter responds. Cloud Hunter says, ooh. Cloud Hunter actually drifts toward you a little bit. One of them says, well, to the wall, towards you.
Sonar, it can't hear
It
us.
can it can see you just fine. The sound is coming through the wall. It's not soundproof. So it
That's
can.
not how sonar works, but okay.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Space sonar.
That's not how sonar works. Like, they would go towards the speaker, which could be in front of us. Like, that's fine. It was just my brain was just like, wait, what?
That is
Science
true.
brain. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No,
I'm
no,
sorry,
you're
chat.
right.
Science brain. Science brained.
Yeah, they would drift towards the speaker then.
The speaker.
Yeah, the speaker is mounted on the wall in front of you for convenience sake. But yeah, and
sorry.
they are curious and scanning and say, the one on the left says, your harmonics are still confused. The other says, meaning is not yet derived.
Oh, it doesn't understand us.
It responds, understand, simple. One says understand, the other says simple.
Well, at least we get credit for trying.
One says understand, the other says you not.
Oh.
It is starting. You get the impression it is speaking simply to help you understand it.
It says we don't understand.
We don't understand. Ooh.
Mandy's gonna blub a blub at the scientist.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Beep.
Yeah. She's gonna tell the other.
Do we want to just ask it simple questions so that we know? Like, we could say something like, "Simple is clear," so that we know that it's about clarity. It's not about comprehension.
And what's the other sentence we should use?
Simple is clear. Answer the question. Or just simple clear would work too.
Well, saying whole sentences is a bit of a mess from our end. So, yes, one word. Let's do it.
So one group says simple, the other says clarity.
Yeah.
And we press the button. They are clearly trying. Again, this is a flying jellyfish, basically, and it's so deriving any sort of sense of emotion from it is, but. Is it almost impossible? But they are still they are clearly trying. The buzzing has intensified. The sort of the vibrations have intensified, and Spot. Can you make me a brains check? In fact, you can all make the brains check, but it's a brains
Hey.
check.
Oh god. Brains.
My boy has.
Okay.
I've got a
You know
10
what?
in brains.
I'm not even gonna brag about what brains I have.
I'm gonna
'cause the Lord
re-roll
knows
that
what
one.
I'm gonna end up rolling.
I rolled a 6.
That hasn't even. Okay. That's not a re-roll. Like it genuinely landed on like a weird edge
Oh, yeah,
on
yeah.
top of
If
my
it's
keys,
cocked,
so
yeah,
I'm just
that's
gonna...
I re-rolled mine. Got a 5 first and a 20 on the second.
Nat 20.
Yes.
my boy has. I have the D20 in brains, and I rolled a 7, but I
Okay.
have +1, so it's gonna
8.
be an 8, baby.
Mandy? A 3? Great. Spot.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna burn 2 of
She's used up her brain cell.
2 of my Duma gigs and bring it up to a 10.
A 10. Okay, very well.
Yeah.
How did you do, Skylar? Sorry?
I rolled a 6.
A 6. Okay, cool. Yeah, you're just... So I think Mandy and Skylar are both on the we need to talk simply train. Spot and ZuRon are both, for different reasons, a little bit more attuned to what they are, how they are speaking, rather than just what they are saying. These creatures... ZuRon, you clock that these creatures are all about sound. And Spot, you are particularly aware, because of your size, of the vibrations. There is a third tone whenever they speak.
Oh, we have to do this in harmony. Shit.
You don't. It understands you.
Oh, we don't understand their harmonies. That's why.
I don't know anything, so I'm gonna sit here and just be like,
Yeah.
the next little while.
Doctor. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Do you have anything that can read the? Because when they're speaking, that there is an extra vibration that is happening. Do you have anything that can pick that up?
Yeah. We have many things here. What this will require is a, I think probably another brains check from the person. He wheels it out. He wheels in this. It's on a little stand. He goes off. A pillar of floof leaves and then comes back in, just pushing in front of it, but just like with its body. This little machine on wheels, and it's like, and this is the one that goes bing. That sort of it's all portable machinery, and he brings it in and says, "Yeah, here you are. Hopefully, this will do what you want."
Yeah. Please stand by while I'll check something out.
Unfortunately, I have a Mercy idea and not a ZuRon idea, and since ZuRon is not creative in any way, I can't do it.
Kate
Kate has a great idea. Kate can't say anything because doesn't understand what's going on with a 3. So, have fun, guys.
I mean, if
Kate's
Spot...
actual brain is going bing.
Spot has, that roll was just for the realization. Now that Spot has verbalized it, other people can chime in with Mandy brain stuff.
Mandy brain cell.
Thank you for not meddling, but yeah.
You can also do the thing where, like, it's gonna sound real dumb. You've got the machine that goes bing, right? That's fine. But I can also magnify the amount of vibrations that there are on account of being banners. So I can, like, touch the wall, and I will jiggle at the same rate as Bing, if we want to not have everyone be super close. Yes, I know. The image in my brain was amazing.
Yeah. I'm thinking about that little bouncing jello just going.
So, what is it you are suggesting? That there's another level.
Magnify the size of the vibrations from little to me-sized, and then your machine will pick them up more easily.
That is true. That is very true. So, yeah.
Because sound vibrations propagate better through solids than they do through air, so we would be able to see the vibrations bigger on account of her being basically.
Would it help if you
jelly.
were in the room with them? I do not believe they are aggressive right now. And we can have security measures in place. We can try going in there.
That might help. And
They
you
seem
see
keen to talk.
Spot Squills just.
I mean, they think we're a we, so I can't go in there by myself.
No.
Oh,
Well,
yes.
somebody else would probably have to operate the machine that goes bing. It's not the machine that goes bing. That was just the mental image I
now it
had
is
from
the-
that film.
No, it's now the machine that goes eki, like, just to combine two completely arbitrary references together.
Yeah.
It's the machine
Well-
that goes nee.
If ZuRon operates it, it's going to be the machine that goes.
Waka waka waka.
Oh, goodness.
Uh,
I think we should all go in there because we
Machine
have to
that
put up
goes.
a.
Yes.
Right in front.
What happened to it?
I just played a sound
Sound.
effect.
I'm sure you did.
That was for the audience. The machine that shows Bing. Yeah. That's what it does. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. All right. Well, would you like me to come in with you, or shall I operate the machinery from the outside? If something goes wrong, I can look to press the big red button.
Yes,
From-
that's
Could
probably
we have
best.
a
From the
red button?
outside.
Get out, please. I would
Uh,
like a red button.
Doctor, what
Yeah?
does the big red button do?
It floods the thing. It floods the room with gas. Puts
That
everything
kill
in
us
the
Don't
room to
touch
sleep.
it.
It would just put everybody to sleep. Everyone. Then
Alright.
you can be retrieved safely. It seems the
Sounds
most
good.
humane. We could electrocute, but that's the big yellow button. But the electrocution seems counterproductive.
Please don't use
Yeah.
the big yellow button. It makes
Nine,
me feel
nine.
completely wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Thank you.
It comes with the cell. I did not ask for it.
Red button is much preferred.
Yes, sleep. Yeah. Cool. You go in. The Haralka spin as you enter, but do not move towards you. One says, in fact, actually, no. Both say, sunshine.
Yes.
Oh wait, no. Was it
And Mandi,
Skylar
you
said
shiver.
Yeah, as you say, what happens to Matt? Because basically, I think Mandy's going to stop verbally responding because a bunch of stuff's going to happen to her physically at this point.
oh yeah, Skylar said yes, so then ZuRon hurriedly says yes afterwards. Real.
So if you point the machine that goes Bing, I hate this, but it's what's happening. The machine that shows Bing,
Bing.
at Mandi. Mandi, what shape do you form yourself into to best amplify their noise?
I would like to make myself a flat sheet because what'll functionally happen if my science brain is doing the science thing is that it will act as Chris McCutcheon put it in the chat, as a membrane speaker.
Yeah.
Which
Wait,
is what it is.
I realize now if
Nerd science
ZuRon
brain.
if ZuRon is operating the Bing machine for
Yeah.
Mandi, then that would mean that Spot and Skylar become effectively the mouthpiece. So they
That's-
are now sunshine.
They are the machine that goes blah 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 blah.
They're the people that go whack. Right. So you do that. Okay.
Do I need to do a grit check to
You
get to
do,
the shape?
please, yes.
Okay.
You can hold it for a minute without a grit check, so it's after that.
Yeah, okay,
So
so I will-
the
I will
grit check
put
is to
myself-
see how long you can maintain.
Yeah, okay. I got a 6.
You can maintain it for at least 5
6
minutes.
minutes. Yeah, 6 minutes.
So yeah. How? Right. So, they watch The buzzing intensifies, but it sort of fluctuates in frequency as Mandi does this. And ZuRon, can you make me a brains check, please?
Oh, because ZuRon's been doing so well with these.
Well, you're the one pressing the buttons on the machine that shows Bing.
Crispin Crunch, just for clarity, I play in a science-based, fantasy-based TTRPG podcast, so this is just my life.
Okay.
I just don't normally get to do it in space.
Okay, so I rolled a 12 with brains plus one that's a 13, and I'm just gonna be feisty and burn through the remaining inspiration points to bring that up to a 16.
16. All right, ZuRon. So what happens is ZuRon, one says, "How prepared is Sunshine?" The other says, "We must speak with Sunshine." And Mandi gets, you hear both of those coming out of your translators, whilst you see Mandi vibrate rapidly, and it's several different bits of Mandi vibrate at different paces. Mandi, it is probably deeply unsettling.
Yeah.
And
she was sort of, I think, mentally braced for the fact that this was going to be wild.
Mandi, can you make me a brains check as well?
Sure.
This is to realize something completely different, but
I got a 9.
Yeah,
'Cause I have a
Mandi,
D10.
Mandi, you can feel the two different sets of vibrations harmonizing within you.
That does sound deeply unpleasant.
Yeah.
Cool.
ZuRon, you looking at the waveform that Mandi is picking up on your screen, you recognize it. It is very like speech. And I would say that with a 16, you realize you could probably like Bluetooth it to your translator.
Mm-hmm.
And with a small amount of reprogramming, you reprogram your translator to spit out all 3 sentences, one after another, whenever they talk, instead of at the same time, making understanding them significantly easier.
Okay, so ZuRon's just like...
Yeah, ZuRon has autism brain going, and and yeah, presented with a technical problem, he finally actually figures out the thing. And what they have said was, "Is Sunshine prepared? And are you ready to communicate?" And the third one that comes out after ZuRon has a little go is, "Perhaps finally you understand true communication." And yeah, you have derived a third, the underlayer of their language.
So,
Anything I need to know, guys?
they're doing great.
So weird.
Oh, goodness.
Through communication.
Thank you very much, Crunchy.
You see Spot's eyes narrow slightly, and the quills on her head standing up. She makes her a little bit smaller and slowly waddles over to the Horolka and looking up at them. She's, wait, Sunshine speaks different from you. Can you understand?
One says your communication is simplistic. The other says unity is strength. and then coming through ZuRon's speaker is, "We do not require you to speak as we do for understanding."
Oh, good.
Oh, goodness, thank you.
The whole unison thing wasn't exactly our strong suit, so that's a relief.
No.
One says, "Appreciated." The other says, "Impressive." And coming out of your speaker says, "Inspired."
Thank you. Well,
Mandi just sticks a small thumb out.
From a little sheet shape.
Then you hear the professor, the doctor, press the button and says, "Ask it ask it if it requires anything. Und Mandi, I can probably manufacture something to perform a similar function to you, if you wish to continue this conversation in a little bit more convivial."
That's something you can do in the next, 3 minutes. That'd be great.
I get right on it. All right.
Again, little thumb.
I was going to ask you if the same thing. Since we are having, and she clears her throat. You can do it, Spot. Would it be okay with you? No, wait. Can I build a translator for Cloud Hunter?
One says Cloud Hunter possesses a translator. One says Cloud Hunter requires the sky. The other, and then the communal response is constructing a better machine would be advisable.
Yes. I am pretty good at building biotechnology. That's why I'm a medic. Why did Cloud Hunter attack Sunshine?
Hostility was not intended. Sunshine in danger. Those were the two. We wish to save you. We wish to save Sunshine from hostiles.
Oh.
What hostiles?
One says Galamas al-Moat. The other says the planet of eventual death. And the third says the world you are on is dangerous. All that go there perish. All Horelka that go there perish.
The world of the furniture?
One says, "Not know this word." The other says, "Many dangerous things there." And then the third comes through as, "All ships leave planet, die."
Oh no, Sunshine.
Oh.
Oh, thank you, Cloud Hunter.
Sorry, go ahead.
How did the ships die?
One of them says, "Everyone has burst." The other says, "The knowledge is not possessed." And then your third, and this is really hard.
Yes.
You're doing a great job.
And then the third says, "Only 3 attempts were made to land there. after that, no further attempts were made. We do not know why.
Oh no. Uh, Spot is like having a little bit of a crisis, standing like, is Sunshine okay? Skylar, was Sunshine okay?
You would have a communications link to Sunshine if you want to message her.
Yeah, so Skylar's going to grab his donut and sort of poke a button. And just, Sunshine, buddy.
Hey, darling.
How you feeling?
How you going,
How you
flyboy?
feeling?
I'm doing fine. Anyway, they got me patched up and ready to go again whenever you are.
And you don't feel ill or anything?
Ill? Hardly.
Good.
Feeling top of the weather. That's a thing. It's worth noting that ill would, like, their ship's unalive.
Right.
Oh, no. Where did you take the players having a brain melt? What did we call the magazine bird thing?
Oh, the helodactyl.
Yes. Where did they take the helodactyl?
Button pressed, and the German scientist. I apologize. No, the Tower of Floof with the German accent says, if you have it, it is in quarantine, of course. It is being studied as it should be. A fascinating species. I am not particularly versed on what is going on with it, though, but you can visit it, I'm sure. It is in a different part of this same facility.
Well, the Hrolka said that their ships were destroyed by the planet it came from. And our ship is fine, but our ship is organic and theirs were not. So maybe it doesn't like non-organic spaces.
I prefer non-organic spaces, to be honest.
The Hrolka respond. One says, organic spaces are preferred. The other says, we require the sky. And then through ZuRon's machine, you hear, if it is not too much trouble, we request floating free.
Oh, I don't see why not, because I mean, you're not hostile. You tried to save us, even though you scared the pants out of us.
Apologies. One says apologies. The other says time was of the essence. Or no, it would say time was against us. And the third says we did not know what you were, and therefore. Or how your being got off that world. Yes, Ghost Worm, yes.
Yep.
Our ship is organic, alive.
This we know. We do not understand. It's like, this we know, we do not understand. And the third says, but not completely so.
No.
No. Well, we found her a long time ago now, and helped her because she wanted to fly. And that's beside the point. Well, Doctor, is there any way that these very kind people could be allowed to fly now that we know that they tried to save us?
The doctor comes back in and says, so regulations are pretty specific about this one. It is still an undocumented species. However, It is definitely sentient, and I suspect that its continued imprisonment is actually doing it significant psychological harm. So, yeah, I will say, as long as it is prepared to have an armed guard on it at all times, then yes, it can. The Haralka say, one says, "We will behave." The other says, "We mean no harm." And the third says, "Small spaces are fearful to us."
I don't like them either, really. I also require the
I
sky.
I like small spaces because big things that try to eat me usually come from the sky.
I have never.
And also Skylar's dive bombing me for fun tend to come from the sky.
So the ceiling actually hinges open at this point, and a pair of security officers on hover bikes float there.
Nice.
And the doctor comes in wheeling a large, it's like a whiteboard on wheels essentially, but it has a drum membrane across it, and he says, "Perhaps this will serve instead of Mandi. Ensign, a very, very impressive job thinking on your ooze." And he brings it all in on this floating pad, and he gestures for you to hop on. How he gestures, it's almost impossible to say because he doesn't have any limbs. So yeah, but he sort of indicates with the top bit of him, and how he's controlling it, none of you have any idea. But the disc sort of starts rising up with the Haralka, which you may not have noticed, but their tentacles were quite tense. And as soon as they see the sky and rise up into it, the tentacles loosen. They fly up about 30 feet, circling around each other, with chirps and little, it's like these sonic pips, like pings and chirps, and as they are clearly looking around. One says, "Where are we?" The other says, "These are not the skies of home." And then through ZuRon's microphone, which ZuRon is now presumably pointing at the whiteboard instead, so Mandi can return to a more blob-like shape, probably with a sigh of relief.
It's just that thing of like if someone's I love that this group of people will understand what I mean. Someone's been a human statue for a significant period of time and then suddenly doesn't have to do it anymore.
Oh god.
And all of their muscles, then like they go to jelly. So it's that sort of like, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Just gonna. She like blobs down onto the grass and presumably eats a small amount of grass. Like
it's a ring around Mandi. It's just dead.
Dead grass,
I'm not dead because it's not there. It's just
it's just been gone.
Eats the organics just progressively, slowly down until it hits concrete. Makes herself her own little well to blob in.
Yeah. So you sort of drift up into the sky. Mandi sits on the grass and just has a moment. And ZuRon, through the whiteboard, you hear, "Where are we?"
Oh yeah. Apologies about that. Our mission was to find new places and, make contact, I guess. So we kind of accidentally, not really intending to, kind of kidnapped you.
They say, one says, "The question repeats." The other says, "What world is this?" And then through ZuRon's translator, you get, Have we left our solar system?
Can Mandy work out what the geographic, like, in the way that you would find a GPS location on Earth, like, there must be an equivalent because we travel in 3 dimensions and stuff. Whatever the equivalent that is for our current location.
Oh, for like galactic terms?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yes, she would know that.
Galactic GPS our location, and I say that whatever that is. I think we're at
these coordinates.
Yeah. That's where we are.
The planet's name is Sargon.
Yeah. That's where on Sargon, which is galactic coordinates. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Territory of the org.
Yeah.
And the org.
And the org. It responds. Confusion. Disbelief. Says the 2. And then the 3rd says. Excitement. Then
Have your people never left your system?
One says, not yet. The other says, we lack the technology. And the 3rd says, we must be the first.
Welcome. Well, we, even though it's our fault that you came here, welcome. It's a pretty nice place.
We must return. The others must be told.
Oh, yes, of course.
And the 3rd meaning is, will this knowledge be shared? Or
yes.
No, it's a request. Can this knowledge be shared?
We believe in sharing knowledge.
Yes, if you the dean's gonna love this one. If you become members of the org, you will have access to all of this, all the time.
All our knowledge.
Given and shared freely, without boundaries.
The Harolka responds, we will take you there. The other says, you must meet our leaders. And the 3rd says, our world is near the one you were at. We name it Galamas al-Moat.
Galamas al-Moat.
That was the planet they found you at, not their home world. And he is willing to take, or they are willing to take you there.
At which point ZuRon says, oh, shit! What time is it?
ZuRon, it's about 4:45.
Ah, no!
Run, ZuRon! You're gonna be late.
Let's, if we could.
We won't leave without you.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought. I have somewhere to be, and I don't know. He descends from whatever contraption they're in.
Small question.
Yes.
Is Skylar, who is a very fast flyer with his rocket wings, able to lift ZuRon?
Not in his suit.
Not in his suit, and ZuRon's in his suit.
We established this. Even, you've done this before with ZuRon in 0G and it didn't work.
No,
just side-eyeing ZuRon. Just side-eyeing ZuRon.
Is the suit tech or biotech?
Tech. I think it's pure tech.
Dang it.
Yeah, just side-eye ZuRon. Just, do you want to get there on time, or do you want to get there in the suit?
He's getting there in the suit. He's gonna sprint across campus as his plan.
Yeah. ZuRon,
so
in the suit, make me a brawn, I think. Maybe flight.
Maybe flight. In suit, I do have a +1 flight. How bad is my flight? My brawn is actually, my base brawn is better than my flight.
Okay, make a brawn then.
I am willing to assist by giving one of my points.
Ooh.
And by assisting, I mean I am willing to rip off my rocket wing attachments and stick them on ZuRon. For the sake of him getting there faster. He wants this little relationship to work.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
bless.
You do that. Yeah, you do that. So, ZuRon, you are rocket assisted for the next little minute.
Yep, so I have removed one of my adversity tokens to give to ZuRon. This bonus, which I believe there is a mechanic for that.
This is functionally a help action, which you can roll it twice, I think, isn't it?
Oh. That would be so nice if my brain could work out which one's a D10. Hang on, I found it. Okay.
The one there are two of.
The weird one that isn't a shape that it should be. It's
Yeah.
not a shape Mandi approves of.
It's not a great shape. Okay.
Like compared to like a lot
So
of the
I
other
get
ones, not
so I get to roll 2 and then I get to pick the better one, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, so is a 0 a 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I rolled a 10.
Did you just nail it? Ooh, ZuRon. Okay. ZuRon, yeah. You make it with seconds to spare. You come around the corner to
Just like
the fanciest of the on-campus coffee shops. Brittany Fleischman is there in full Mean Girls getup. Think like that. There is a pleated tartan skirt, a pink sweater.
Are we going
Pinks-
Mean Girls or like Clueless? Because I feel like we're going.
Yeah,
Clueless
it's more
all of a
clueless at this
sudden.
point, isn't it?
Yeah.
White socks pulled up, and she's sitting on her communicator. She also has a second lieutenant Pips on her shoulder, and
Brittany.
the donut communicator as well. And she goes, "Oh, hey, ZuRon." And I think we'll leave it there.
Oh, you saucy minx.
Speaking of mean girls, hello.
Yeah. Guys,
That's
thank
a
you so
good
much for
clip,
playing with me this evening. That was great fun. I think we'll do a quick round of favorite moments and then retire for the evening, as a bunch of us are very tired because we've been dealing with children or cars or people. Guys, thank you so much for playing. We're going to do something that we like to do now that we have stolen unapologetically from the dreaded GM, which is our favorite moments. Where we talk about all the good things that everybody did. Who would like to go first? Well, actually, Ghost Swarm, would you do me the immense favor of typing !roll space the number 5 into chat? !roll as in ROLL space bar the number 5. That'll roll us a number between 1 and 5, and that will be who goes first. Kate being number 1, Malika being 2, so Skylar. We're talking about terrace first. Thank you very much, Ghost Swarm. Favorite terrace moments.
I'm gonna hop in and steal before anyone else gets mine.
Would.
But Skylar having that strong affinity for like wanting to be free and fly that like he just immediately empathized with the Rolka. Like as soon as they were like, "Oh, we want Sky," Skylar's like, "Yes, I'm on their side. I'm with them. I understand."
I love Skylar giving ZuRon the pep talk about Brittany at the start.
Oh yeah.
Just the little you can do it, man. It's fine.
Yeah. I really like ZuRon being given the rocket boots. It's a cute
Very
moment.
kind.
Really nice.
Yes.
Favorite
Absolutely.
chat. If you have favorite moments as well, please chuck them up there.
Please, chat. Check 'em out.
Yes.
Adana?
My favorite Skylar moment is his relationship with Sunshine. Like the second that Spot said that Sunshine might be in danger, Skylar was like, checking in.
My
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah, exactly. Favorite self,
Oh,
Terrace?
goodness. Oh, favorite self. I think sort of trying to get into the character with the use of his crest. When his arch nemesis, who is soon to be ZuRon's girlfriend, I think,
Hey,
being
fingers
mentioned,
crossed.
and the crest just
Brittany.
going up and then slowly retracting because I
No,
should probably be
nice.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh no, Spot is already planning like 500 different things that she can do to this girl
Yeah,
if
that was me.
she
Yeah.
ever hurts.
Oh, you don't think all of her
ZuRon.
stuff is getting like absorbed? If
Yeah.
she's like,
Or misplaced,
you realize that like
or
if she wears anything that's not polyester, like it's mine now. bitch.
and anything that is
Organics, my
polyester
love.
is going to turn into some form of biomechanical shenanigans.
Whoops.
Wow,
Oh,
it's gonna have a
ZuRon has the
naked
most terrifying
cyborg
pet.
wandering around.
Yeah, I get paid. I mean,
Yes.
Froggy's got it. I get paid to make the ship go fast.
Yeah, that was a good moment. Yeah.
Really get paid to make the ship go fast? 100%.
Yeah, excellent. Alrighty, Simi Foggy, could you do me the favor of typing !roll space 4? Roll space the number 4 to see who goes next. The Rocket Wing, yes. Number 3, well, that'd be me.
Yeah.
Hey.
Favorite DM moments.
Oh my god, having the treble talk. That is absolutely inspired, my dude.
Thank you.
Like, I want to steal that.
Tower Floof. Tower
Tower
Floof,
Floof.
please and thanks.
Especially the blump of how
The
he
blump,
presses
yeah,
the
just
button.
like-
Yeah, just blump.
Yes.
Like
Well,
every little
someone's-
detail of like I want to know how he wheeled it in. Did he just like shove it with his
Yeah.
himself
Yeah.
all the way in? Like,
I honestly
these great
pictured it being
images
like a
of this
blum, blum, blum. No, I do have to say I love how you always manage to get a German accent in.
Yeah.
Somehow it's like, and I never expect it. It's just you will start talking as one of the side characters, and like the German accent will pop out, and I always have to stop myself from giggling. Like, there it is.
Like, my first language is German. I can't do that German accent. Seriously.
It's the one that sits easily like a glove, so if I need a shorthand for this is a different person talking now, that's the one I'll use, because I can just put it on and off.
Mine is French for the same reason because it
Yeah.
is not hard to.
I can't
Yeah.
do a French. It goes
I
very
will teach
funny.
you. I will teach you because it is not.
It requires a lot of concentration for me to maintain a French. I was trying for French for Bene Gesserit, and she wound up sort of African. Yeah, don't know how I got that, but it fits really well. It works with the character really nicely, but yeah, it's sort of pan-African accent. Which is obviously a very inaccurate thing because there's no such thing. But yeah, the speed of which the
my
characters, the speed of which the characters came
like
to.
I think that idea of like because of how quickly you jumped between
Oh,
them. A
yeah.
lot. And yes, Froggy, exactly. It'd be French to Belgian to Dutch to Afrikaans.
Yeah,
is
yeah,
how
exactly.
you'd end up at something that's vaguely
Oh, jumping
Yeah,
between characters. Yeah, that one is a
yeah.
trick. It probably helps that I've done a lot of puppeteering.
Yeah.
Often playing two puppets simultaneously. It's an exercise in controlled schizophrenia, is the way we always put it. And yeah.
Avenue Q was that for me. I'm like, oh god,
Yeah.
who am I now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a similar thing
Wow.
when with NPCs that talk like three traumatized NPCs talking to the party, and they're different level of traumatized. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yay.
And surprisingly, not by something the party did. Anyway, my favorite
once.
DM moments was at the start, like the different tiny little messages to each character when they got the pins. I really like that. Tweak the message a little bit.
Yeah, thank you. Favorite self. I quite liked Commodore Thrixus. I quite liked his sort of building his stuff around his backstory around him, and figuring out more about his species basically as I went. Like the idea of this species that saved themselves from extinction by uploading themselves and now exist purely digitally. They are not an agglomeration of all the knowledge they have ever had, because they found that having too much basically makes them not capable of interacting with the material world. They have to limit their knowledge. So they deliberately, when they reproduce, they deliberately only cherry pick the right amount of knowledge for a new being. And once they reach a certain age, they stop interacting with the physical world and upload themselves permanently into a computer network, because they know too much.
I like that.
Yeah. They're cool. Alrighty.
Yeah, that's great.
Now I wonder, does their ancestry get determined by looking at their coding note style? Yeah. And also, they can physical form, they can look like whatever they want. They build the bodies to suit. So the fact that this one looks the way he does is a choice on his part, which is interesting. And he identifies very much male. Let's Toxic Chalk. Could you do me the favor of typing !roll space 3 in chat to figure out which one we have left? Space, there's sci-fi is just so much, there's a lot of choice. There's a lot more room to play with interesting concepts. Number 2, we're talking about Malika. Hey! Alrighty.
Yes.
ZuRon. Favorite ZuRon moments.
ZuRon being flustered about the prospect of a date. That was so
thief.
I'm gonna go.
I loved that moment of just like that we were so invested in like the Haralka and all of this, and then you just went, "What time is it?" And I was like, "Yes." Actually, yes. No, correct. That is the exact segue we needed at that exact moment. And like dead on. Not even the fact that you were taking us back to something from the start, but like it's also a ZuRon thing to do, to be like, oh shit, I got distracted.
It's really lovely that Malika plays up the I'm a newbie at this. I don't have the skills. When in fact, and then just very casually whips out a really good storytelling instinct right there. But also Also, your world building at the beginning, that's going to be my favorite moment. Like, everybody gave me some good answers.
Oh my God,
but
yes.
Definitely. Yours was, I was just like, I am fascinated about these people and this world that you have built. I don't know if you thought about it too much beforehand, but you gave me a whole societal structure. And it was fascinating. I'm like, this is neat. This is hell neat. Yeah. Very, very cool.
I'm going to say the detailing in your graduation suit.
Yeah.
Which I absolutely adored. Also, I'd like to point out that there is no way anyone would ever guess you're a newbie at all this, by the way.
Oh,
Right.
oh, thank you so much.
Except that
Just
you
the
keep reminding us.
comedic timing.
Yeah.
Is
Oh yeah. No, you're
beautiful.
so good. You're so good at this.
Oh, thanks, girl.
There it is. You went full potato.
There
It's
it
fine.
is.
It's the like, no,
No.
ew, gross.
You should see it when we do it to drag. That one's funny. Stop it! I hate it! Oh god!
Be nice to me.
It's why we do this. It's why we do this, so you can get better at being complimented. Amazing. Favorite self moment?
Oh goodness. I'm gonna ZuRon. It didn't end up being correct, but ZuRon's theory about the language I thought was very cute, because he was kind of like, I'm understanding people. I'm understanding the way people work.
you
Never
got
happens.
you were about 50% of the way there. He was just like, oh no, we need to be talking simultaneously. You were getting yourselves to the point, like, I didn't want to spoon feed it to you, and you guys got yourselves about 60% of the way there, and I was just like, okay, I think now they've had the theories. It was really fun watching you work out a really not a particularly easy
Puzzle.
problem to solve. Yeah, I was like quite proud of it as a puzzle, but yeah, you guys solved it. And as Ghost Swarm says, yeah, seriously, wow, a newbie, you are amazing. Less and less of a newbie, to be honest. I mean, Malika has played, what, 5 different characters now on the channel?
Yeah, I have. There was that,
4 different systems?
Yeah.
But a newbie at this. Just casually.
Look, relatively inexperienced in the whole streaming and RPGs, but like getting more and more so, and it's showing. You're I would say you're definitely getting better, but you're like, yeah, wow, today, absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you didn't know who to guess. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Cool. Newish. Yeah, newish. But yeah, we had Malika on. Karen and I had Malika on during our Mano a Mano series to play a mermaid folk, which was kind of fun. And then we had you back for Candlekeep. And then you did Thirsty Sword Lesbians, and yeah, Malika's been on a bunch now. And it's always lovely to have you. So,
She's wonderful.
Any other favourite moments, or shall we move on? Do we need Crispin Crunch? Could you chuck up an exclamation mark roll space 2 in chat to choose between
Yes, you or me
Uzi,
or Donna.
Mandeus, or Spot? You're both going to get it eventually, so there we go. A 2. We're
That's
going to have
you,
Donna.
Yay!
Spot. Favorite
I
Spot moments.
really liked just like a little thing, but in the graduation bit of just the idea of you putting a clip in the spot of Spot. Like,
Yes.
it's like that the tiny little detail of like that's what you carry. Like, no, I'm highlighting this little thing that's about me that I like, and little because little. But I just liked that little addition, and the fact that you were like, yeah, your spikes were still rubbed raw. Like just that, like
Yes.
the detailing of that I really enjoyed.
I liked how slightly uncomfortable Spot was when she realized that she was,
The boss.
yeah, essentially the boss that you outranked us now.
Yeah. it's like-
I just thought that was a show don't tell moment for Spot, and I loved it.
I liked giving that to Spot because when it came out, I was like, that's perfect. Like Skylar should not be given this much power. ZuRon should not be given this much power. Mandy
No.
and Spot are the 2 that could wield it most effectively because they were the ones that wouldn't want it. And although I don't think ZuRon would want it either.
I mean, he has too much of an affinity for war crimes out of curiosity, so I don't think he should have it.
That's true,
He was
yeah.
looking at the robot man, and
I mean,
honestly,
And Mandy's
thinking
a
love
people
how that's
pleaser.
a
Mandy
spot
should not
thing.
have power. Mandy's just going to say yes to people. That's
Yeah,
a terrible
yeah.
choice.
I mean,
Spot's the
Skylar would be
perfect choice
very
for it.
worried. Skylar would be very worried if ZuRon got that
Yeah.
promotion, just because
Yeah.
he's worried about
ZuRon anyway.
Sunshine.
Sunshine. Yeah.
yeah, war crimes, like I said.
That's the title of the main series, yeah. War crimes out of curiosity.
Something about what?
Something war crime, something complete.
War crimes. Something
no.
complete.
But I really liked that again, kind of building on the discomfort that Spot had with her like new authority, symbolic or otherwise, was there was one specific moment where she was talking to the doctor and she had like a Spot moment, but then she tried to rein it in, like to focus, because like she sees the doctor and she's like, oh, so fluffy, and then she's like, wait, no.
Don't poke the floof. Bad choice.
I outrank everyone now. I've got to be responsible.
Yeah, but
and
sensible.
serious.
I really liked Spot's taking the lead in the communication and being that nervous, awkward, Like the first time she's like, okay, look, I'm in charge, I suppose. I suppose I've got to talk to him. That's my job now, right? And yeah, seeing how it sat with her, seeing how it sat in her, was really cute. Favorite self?
I think my favorite self moment was when talking, like when we were talking to the Hrolka, and it was. It's not really a specific moment in that whole thing, but it's like that. The feeling that I as a player, and Spot would have had that Eureka at the same time. It's a very strange feeling, because playing a character that is like, her best stat is brains. So she's highly intelligent. But like that sense, that feeling of being as smart as your character when your character is a smart one. It's like, hey, I figured something out. Spot would probably also figure this one out.
Yay!
Because I've played intelligent characters before, and I always felt like there's no way this character would be this dumb.
It's really hard to play. Not just smarter than you, but also somebody who just knows stuff that you wouldn't, or that you don't.
Yeah.
Karen is routinely called upon to play military commanders. Just winds up being like, yeah, both of her longest running characters are military leaders. Kesh Glitterweave is a major, and Ryland Westfall is a cavalry commander. And Karen has zero expertise or really any knowledge about military structures, hierarchies, or tactics. It's just not her skill set or interest. So she's always like, Josh, tell me. I'm like, okay. But yeah, it's really hard to play smarter or, frankly, dumber than you are. Yeah.
Like my very first D&D character, she's a bard with 18 intelligence. I'm not at 18 intelligence. Come on now.
Yeah.
I'm at most at 14.
Yeah, and with D&D as well, there is the added element of you've got 3 mental stats for a reason. So you're like, book smarts are your, and then you've got your wisdom and your charisma as well. And this is the thing. Anyway, we need to talk about Kate, and Kate's our favorite Kate moments. We need to flatter her, because she's an amazing, great person, and also Josh the Pirate has Riz.
I feel old because I don't know what that means.
I am uncertain.
Same.
Charisma.
Right.
Oh yes, that's true.
Yeah.
That's fair. I'll take it. The speaker membrane. That is all. Yes.
Damn it!
Never had a. Yeah.
She just wants to be all the shapes. What do you want?
The little thumb. I'm going to go one more, sort of build on that. The little thumbs up in the middle of the speaker membrane. It just kept me going. That was absolutely inspired. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was going to say the Mandi phone, but someone took the speaker membrane.
Ring, Mandi phone.
Yes. Now that's a reference that's gonna date us.
I love that means it's going to hit exactly the right audience.
Yeah.
I have two, but I'm only going to say one because I don't want to steal one from another if someone has it. But just the logistics of giving Mandi her badge. So the Mandi sash, and then like people like patting her on her sash and like using it as a way to like interact with her without being absorbed into the ooze. That whole sequence was hilarious.
I have two as well. So I'm gonna say Mandi making herself a little nest after we let the Hrolka out.
Yes.
So cute.
That's so funny.
Like, I'm gonna dig down here and I'm gonna stay here.
I'm gonna say your world building about your people, and particularly the detail about not touching each other was really interesting, particularly for like a human, and like that is a God, that sounds awful to never be able to touch another member of your own species. But thinking about it from their perspective, it's Kate's science brain going, and it was just really cool.
And that's
a really
gross.
cool detail. That's really gross for somebody who is semi-permeable. So yeah, that was really, really neat. Yeah. Kate, you want to do your favorite self before people come up with more favorite Kate moments?
I really enjoyed conducting the everyone speaking at the same time. Just like coming up with a way to like, okay, I don't have hands. How do I whoop?
The detail of you looking down at yourself. Imagine how that looked. I'm imagining a wave. Like that, the side on of it,
I couldn't. It's weird as a mental exercise to play something that doesn't have bones.
Yeah.
Because how you exist is very different. I think Crispin Crunch has got it there, like not glooping through the wire chair. I'm like, yeah, because I can't just sit on this chair that in my head is mesh, because I'll go through it, and that's that hurts. That feels weird. You know. I don't want dad inside me. Like, that's not, you know, like all of those things.
Can we not say that phrase? It's
I don't. That is a fair and valuable sentence. But I think a lot of that. I mean, you know, I cheated Ghost Rob.
I want a shirt on. I want a shirt with that.
I don't want dad in me.
And then just a picture of a chair with like the permeable holes in the seat, and then it's like no context. Just I don't want that inside me.
I don't want that inside me.
Yeah. Crispin Crunch says, the moment when Kate found Mandy's voice and thus face.
Oh yeah.
Because Crispin, in the break, we said the opposite. It was actually when she found the face and then the voice came to it.
Yeah. I think it was as soon as, and my face hurts, just for clarity, holding that like.
Oh.
No, because it's all
in the mouth.
It's all here, and everything is tight, and I'm like, ow.
Mm-hmm. I've been.
But yeah, no, I definitely like placed my face and went, oh yeah.
That's
it's really annoying.
Oh no! I just realized something.
Oh no!
Father, I have sinned takes on a whole new meaning.
Don't.
Why do you do this? Why would you do that?
All I'm gonna say is never say the word daddy ever again. It's gross. But yeah, no, I think that sort of they're like finding ways for her to do things, given she doesn't have, you know,
limbs.
She's got no she's functionally got like no body. She's just kind of goop. So what happens when you go out of being a shape and collapse?
Viscous do you see her as?
Not super viscous, but I think it's more that thing of like when it was trying to work out when she'd gone from tension. I envisage her as like flubber. There's a reference that's gonna date me. Yeah. Right there. Like that's your viscosity level.
Yeah.
But like that thing of like if you're tense for a really long time, what then happens to you? We've established if you're already gloop, how do you
We've established she's very much a non-Newtonian fluid as well. It's like cornstarch in water. It like you hit it, it'll be very solid, but Oobleck, yes.
Actually, I also really enjoyed figuring out her mum's name. That was fun too.
Really funny, actually. Her mum should be called Oozbleck.
Oozbleck. No! Ew. Better leave a white mark everywhere, and that's just a bad life choice. Like,
face of Bo, a little bit, yeah.
That's kind of what that was Crispin Crunch. That was the image I had for like being the membrane was being was being Cassandra.
Yeah, from that same episode. Yeah.
That was the image in my head. Yeah. Which is why thumbs up.
Yes. Cool. Alrighty, does anybody have any more? Because I know Malika said she had two.
Oh no, you said the other one.
You nailed it. Okay.
With the head looking down at herself. Although I pictured it more like her head nubbin, sort of like plopping inside out, and then like coming back out the right way around.
Oh,
Like-
don't make Kate Sandra Simi Froggy. That's no, my
Like I
face
said-
does not
No.
deserve that.
Last
Oh.
No.
like I said last time, adorable and body horror, and
Yeah.
then back again.
She's very that.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
very that.
All right. Well,
Oh,
guys,
yeah.
that was super fun. Sorry, Ardana, you have one more?
No, tangent. But when can I play a plasmoid in one of your games, Josh?
We will see. We will see. I need to have a normal setting for first. Don't actually have a regular sort of. The closest we've got is Candlekeep. Alrighty, guys. Well, we should go away from here because we've been streaming for a gosh darn while. But it has been excellent fun. Don't ask the lair. Because then that'll happen. You know it'll happen. That's what happens in the
but
lair.
but the reason that I say that is like
Yes.
Froggy can ask the lair if Froggy actually wants that to happen, and Froggy will. This is the thing, because whether I'd said it or not, Froggy would, or T would, or someone else in chat would. So
Yeah. Alrighty.
Before we disappear, can I shamelessly promote one thing that's coming up that's related to the fact that we've making a bunch of Doctor Who references?
Yes. Yes,
So
you
on
may.
Thursday night, I know you'll be live over here, but I will also be live over on Fate's Grip because it is Thirsty Thursdays, and
Oh,
we
yeah.
are rating, I believe, all the Doctor Who characters because they've got me on, which means that I
Ooh.
have to now go through. I don't think we're doing every species.
Jesus.
I do not know what's going to get pulled down. My understanding it was doctors and companions, but it also might be God knows what. So if you want to come have opinions about
Dr. Donna is the top. The end.
No. It's not about pairings. It's about each individual one. So the correct answer
Donna.
is Jack Harkness is number one.
Yeah,
Because
obviously.
that's
Yeah.
the correct answer.
Donna.
That's the yardstick you measure
That's
things
the
by.
yardstick
It's
you
like,
measure
yeah.
everything by.
How many
but
Jack
we will-
Harknesses? Yeah. On
So,
a scale of 1 to Jack
uh,
Harkness, where do they sit?
Which
Yeah.
I just say is on a scale of 1 to John Barrowman because
Yeah. Barrowman!
Sorry.
Yeah.
but yeah, so you're welcome to come and join us in that randomness of rating them. But also, be over here at the same time. So I'm sure
Yeah.
there's things going on over here.
Let's do both.
It's
Definitely.
Fate's Grip, Crispin Crunch. If you did follow my Twitter, much as that ship is sinking, it will be over there, and I'm sure I will shamelessly promote it in the self-promo channel of the Discord. Close
Yes.
to.
Yay.
Yeah. When are you going live on there?
I believe it is 5:30 Australian Western Standard Time. So
This is the
before
thing.
over here would be
This is the
live.
thing. You can double
But-
bill it.
But we don't know how long it'll take us to.
Yeah, no.
do. So,
I'm just I remember
uh,
that those guys have raided us on Thursdays before, so yeah.
Yeah.
So
So usually we start between 7 and 7:30 and go till we're done. Last week they were well into
Yep.
the wee hours of the Eastern Standard Time, so
Oh, wow.
it took
Okay.
I think 6 hours to go through all of the Taylor Swifts. So all of the outfits from all of the tours, I think was
Okay.
basically what we were
Right.
doing, and
I was
it was
It was
a lot.
In what way? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
that's
Well, we
it's
will
fun.
go away from here now. But guys, who the absolute heck have you been this evening? Let's go in the reverse order. Kate, seeing as we're talking about you, who the heck are you?
Hi, I'm O'Sullivan Kate. You can find me on all of the things at O'Sullivan Kate because I'm not an imaginative person, and it's very easy when your surname and your last
Fucking
name go
bollocks.
together and collect very nicely. It's even my gosh darn website because I'm lazy. You can find me in general doing ridiculous things on the internet as part of the Radiant Shadows crew, or over on It's Fate Script on Thursdays, or occasionally on this wonderful channel. Like I'll be back here next week if assuming we're still doing that. And then
We
doing
have to find out what
Dungeons
happens
and
on the
Doctorates.
date.
I know. And doing Dungeons and Doctorates, which is our podcast, which is science-based fantasy worlds of general ridiculous nerddom. Look, none of us are dead yet. It's a win right now. We went to the Fey Realm. It's a bad time. So, everything's great. Otherwise, if you insist and before Josh does it for me, you can come and see me in Melbourne for my fringe show that Josh had to sit through as he videoed it for me when it was in Perth. It's called All the Best Roles Are Written for Men. It's a good time.
It is a good time.
I
Ooh.
have to make sure all my statistics are right because no one wants a cabaret show that's not statistics plus feminism and musical theatre all in one go. Because that's
And
a
you
thing.
certainly
that I
don't
created.
want it. You certainly don't want an inaccurate, statistically
No,
inaccurate
I have to make sure
one.
that the statistics are
Yeah.
correct because that's important to me because I'm that level of nerd burger.
Malika, who the absolute heck are you?
Hello, I am Malika Moon. I am a singer, a burlesque, an actress, a show gremlin, and do all kinds of creative things when I can be bothered to leave my house. You can find me on Instagram, even though I'm barely on it. Truly dreadful. That I need to post there more regularly, like legit, because I have gigs coming up, and it's bad if I'm not posting anything. So I will post. If you follow me, I will post, and I will be here next week, same time, same place, same very autistic man who is bad at expressing his feelings.
But we get so well on a date.
So excited.
With the popular girl.
So excited for it.
Yes. I honestly, I love my little salamander man, but I kind of want him to crash and burn because I know that'll be more fun to
Don't
play.
worry, he will.
Oh, yeah.
How's that charm dice over there? That charm dice.
Oh, legit, charm is his worst stat, so I am going to have a great time.
No.
Time.
And amusingly, I do not have access to their character sheet, so I did not know that for certain.
Yeah.
I just
You have access
suspected.
to mine.
Oh yeah, I do now.
I'm bad at fight if it helps, which makes sense because I'm good. So.
Yeah. Cool. Terrace, who the
wait.
heck are you? Oh, what?
Oh, never mind. It's to do with the game. We're done.
Okay. Hi, I am Sir Terrace, your friendly neighborhood ferret. You can generally find me popping around wherever D&D or other TTRPGs are popping up. I don't stream myself just yet, but soon mice.
So freaking weird.
Yes.
I feel bad for ever explaining it, actually. I'm just like, but soon, mice. And just leave it. Just let people go
The best part is...
great threat.
The way you pronounce mice in English is the way you say corn in Swedish.
Mice.
So, soon, corn.
It's corn. It's got the juice. It's fine.
Yeah. I love that, in English we have a bunch of different words for an element of female anatomy.
Oh no! Describe why!
Why? They're reading us a nose! That's okay.
Darlings,
We can just, we'll just have to check, we'll just have to chuck a raid to somebody else. But guys, thank you so much for raiding us!
Hello.
Hey, raiders! Hey, Des, you bloody champion! How was Kingslayers, guys? Guys, if you want a really good TTRPG stream to go check out, that sadly is on the same time as we are, so don't stay here. But no, honestly, dead set, go and check out the Eldritch Scribe as well, because they're bloody legends. Daria used to play over there as well. Unfortunately, scheduling prevents that now. But yeah, it is. They are excellent gang, and Des is a brilliant storyteller with a very international crew. So yeah, if you have enjoyed us, they are stream team buddies of us, so I can recommend heartily. I have played with Des has played with me. We're all very good, and yes.
Awesome.
Ardana, who the heck are you?
I am Ardana, or Joe. I am the channel runner and GM over at The Lorite. And if you want to find me on other places, I'm also The Lorite on YouTube and Instagram. But I don't update my Instagram. I think I've posted twice in the past 6 months.
That's okay.
I really only pop into Instagram right now to see whatever shenanigans Josh sent me.
Truly.
Which is basically cat memes.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cat memes.
Yeah, Malika is on my list of pebbles now as well. So yeah,
No, I have like
Pebbles.
3 people who do that with me on Instagram at the moment. It's
You're
great.
welcome.
If you're interested and you missed it, the edited video for the Curse of Hearts Wedding Bells one shot is now up on the YouTube.
Do you want to pop a link to that in the Discord? We would love to.
Sure, I can do that.
Yes.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Because we have a Discord. If you want to join it, you could come out and hang out with us there. Discord. Yeah, there you go, sneaky Discord plug. And yeah, if you want access to Ardana's video, you can either just go to the Lorite YouTube channel, or is it the Lorite or is it Ardana on YouTube?
No, it's _Lorite.
Yeah.
I actually managed to. They approved the change.
Oh,
I'm
good.
so happy.
Hey.
Good. Anime Dame Monsieur, Dame und Herren and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, I be Josh the Pirate. You can find me here in my channel Corso's Cove, where I run D&D and other RPG-related games like this, Teens in Space! Another games with me lovely friends and my wonderful wife, Karen, the mother of bunnies. if you enjoyed this evening's activities, you can check us out again on Thursday night, where we will be doing some more Humblewood of Monsters and Magic. We hopefully will have our special guest Fenway the Teen DM back with us for the end of that little story arc where the gang is in the plane of life trying to calm a mountain down so they can climb it and get a little flower on the top. But everything on the life plane is alive. The clue is in the question. And the mountain doesn't want to be climbed, so they're going to try and feed it an earth elemental to calm it down. That's the plan. We'll see how it goes. I had good fun writing that episode. We will be back, same bat time, same bat channel on Monday evening for some more Teens in Space. And that will be fun to find out what happened on ZuRon's date and maybe go to the homeworld of the Herolka. Great, guys. It's been excellent fun hanging out with you this evening. I just need to mention a couple of other people. First of all, the gang at Wooten Forge. Wooten Forge are the creators of WA's finest handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories, like this beautiful dice keeper here. You can get it engraved, you can get it laser etched, you can see the leather inlay on this dice roller tray there. It's one half of the dice keeper. They make them out of Australian and exotic hardwoods. And any purchases you make from wootenforge.com/Corsairs Cove, we get a cheeky little kickback, you bloody champions. So check them out there. They do international shipping and all that stuff. If you can't, if for whatever reason it doesn't work out, get in contact with me and I will hook you up, because they are both wonderful guys and friends of the channel, and I will make certain that you can get your beautiful handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories. We are also stand with the people of Ukraine, who are, as you are probably aware, going through a bit of a shit time right now. So if you have any digital pennies in your if you have any charity pennies in your digital wallet, please consider chucking them over to the 2 links I have put up in chat. There's the Emergency Action Appeal and the Curious Compendium of Slavic Myth, which is a D&D handbook, a little PDF that you can get for the very reasonable price of £1. And all proceeds of the sale of it go towards the British Red Cross appeal for Ukraine. Couple of good places to spend your money, and you'll be bloody champions if you did so. I know it's a really good book, Semi-Froggy, as well. It contains the Legend of the Żarpytitsa. This is a link to our YouTube. If you would like to have a look at it, the Legend of the Żarpytitsa, the Ivan's Firebird, is on our YouTube. We played it as a one-shot, and it was jolly good fun, and I will be running it next weekend down at Winterfest for the Dungeons and Drunks session, which will be jolly good fun. I think we should probably go away from here now. So, guys, who do you reckon we should raid? Because I don't know very many people.
I'm just been perusing. That's what I've been staring at doing while you've been talking, Josh. It's like
board mode is the only.
Do we feel like sending people in the general direction of more TTRPG type things, or in the direction of other things?
I'm open to anything.
Roll 1 to Explode are doing some Warhammer Tyranid models right now. If they're doing some painting. Otherwise, CJ, whose name I can never remember on thing, CJ some days is doing some. Looks like he's doing some world building, but he might just be having a chat. I can't tell.
Let's do the Warhammer. Who's that?
Let's roll 1 to Explode.
Roll 1 to Explode. Great channel.
Ruby is a miniature painter from the UK with an obsession for plasma-themed weapons, basically. They do a lot of painting.
Splendid.
He appears to be painting some Tyranids right now, and is a generally good egg.
Lovely bean.
We like good eggs.
Splendid. I like a good egg, and we'll chuck a raid over to there. So throw your favourite raid emotes up in chat. Tell Roll 1 to Explode where we came from. And show them the love like we always do. Smash the follow button when you get there. And we will see you, same bat time, same bat channel, either on Monday or a little bit earlier on Thursday evening. Guys, say goodbye, everybody.
Bye,
Bye everybody.
Bye.